Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back. It's been a while. It's um, it's been almost exactly a month, I think. Don't worry, there is no audio at the moment. I know that. Um, in fact, let's get some audio on. Let's get a little bit of game sound, shall we? There we go. Hope you're all well. Uh, Vixie, hello. How are you doing? I don't think it's name's me as a lesbian. I don't pick men. There's going to be quite a lot of Pikmin puns during this stream, I'm sure. Hello, welcome. Yeah, it's been a while. I had a wonderful few weeks off. A lot of whole lot of things happened, but yeah. During which time we did a little thing called Smashterpieces, and now I'm going to be a guest on it, which is the coolest thing ever. I love this game actually. Are you playing GC or Wii? I am playing the GameCube version, which is glowing off my ring light. So yeah, that's the PAL GameCube version, which is very interesting. It's got a few little differences, shall we say. Who we got? Oh, we've got Matt as well, and Lauren. Hello, welcome. So we do actually have, particularly with Lauren in the chat, we have people who have probably never seen this game before. So I should explain what this game is. We will get a little bit of story as we go through. But this is a game in which you control a bunch of little creatures, as you can see on the screen there. In which you have to help a spaceman called Olimar, who has crashed onto a strange planet, and he finds these little plant creatures that can help him sort of find all the parts of his spaceship and help him get off this planet. So he has 30 parts of his spaceship he needs to collect. He has 30 in-game days to do it in before he suffocates and dies and becomes one with the Earth. And yeah. I take it back, those little guys are terrifying demons. They are the most adorable creatures in the world, and you will see why in a little bit of time. That's alright, all buffoons are welcome here, Lord, ignorant or otherwise. It seems like my chat on my OBS is behind the chat on the screen, which is a little strange. But yeah, not sure if I should be watching something like going to be streaming this game in a couple of hours. Well, if you've already seen this game before, so yeah, today's going to be mostly tutorial, I think. And hey, David's here as well. Hello, good to see you guys. Let's just get started because we've got a bit of tutorial to go through, and then we can talk about what's happened since I've been away. I was meant to be streaming last night, but then we ended up going to the pub instead with my work, which was good because there were people there that I had not seen for literally 18 months. So yeah, so we're going to get started. I need to change over my audio. Please let me know if the video and audio are all right, because I know I've got a bit of a glowing face at the moment. Maybe I should turn down the. I've got an actual professional light now. For those of you who weren't here on the last stream of before I stopped for the summer holidays. I'm going to turn off my preview because I think it's lagging my screen. But yeah, please let me know if everything sounds all right, if everything looks all right, if there are any problems. But hopefully, because I've just spent the last sort of 45 minutes trying to sort out my setup, because until I went on holiday, my microphone and my camera were always synced up perfectly, and for some reason now my camera has decided it's about half a second behind my microphone, so I suddenly had to start sort of redoing all of my delay settings and everything. It was a whole thing, which is just what you want when you haven't tried it for a month and assume that everything's going to be exactly the same. Sounding and looking good. Okay, thank you very much. Right, so before we started, if any of you did hear the episode of Smashterpieces where we were talking about this, I mentioned that I'm going to be doing something called the 9-day challenge. That will be happening in a couple of weeks' time once I've finished the main story and we've played through it. But this is my original save file from way back in 2003, 2004. So this is day 9, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, I have 29 out of the 30 ship parts. So that is going to be me. That would be me fighting the final boss on day 9 to complete the game in the minimum number of days. So like I say, for those of you who don't know Pikmin, you have 30 in-game days in which to play through the game. Each day lasts about it lasts about 13.5 minutes, unless you're playing the version that I'm playing, which is the European original version, which, because of the way that European televisions used to work, the frame rate is slightly slower, and so the length of time in the day is about 16 minutes. So you have slightly longer, although not really, because the frame rate means you can do just as much stuff. But yeah, I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to go into the records before we get started properly. I'm going to go into the records and see, because this is the same save file, same memory card as I've had for 20 years now. So I want to go into the records and see what we've got. High scores. Here we go. So there you go. That's my that is my 9-day challenge right there. So I got 30 parts in 9 days with 839 Pikmin, and I only lost 136. So that is what I'm going to be trying to replicate later on this month. At some point. I might see if I can hold off until, certainly until Joe has finished Pikmin. We'll see how long that takes. But, because I think he did say he wanted to watch it if we can. I'm planning on trying to do it over an entire weekend. I don't think the 9-day challenge will happen in a single stream. It will probably take a stream or two, but I'm hoping that I can just blast through it in a weekend, because we've got a holiday weekend at the end of August, so I should have a day or two in which to do that. Anyway, let's get started. I know Dana, he's the guy that hosts the PC gaming show at E3. I unfortunately do not get that reference, so sorry. But here we are. So yeah, normally when I play this without a guide, I finish on about day 21 or day 22 by the time I get everything. So I guess I'll just erase this one and we can start again. Have a look. So yeah, right, okay. Now the last time I did this, the last time I streamed this game, which was probably, was it last year, the year before? I can't remember. I gave Captain Olimar a David Attenborough voice. I'm thinking this time I'm going to give him the same accent as the teachers in Persona 5. So I'm thinking our trusty captain who has crash landed on this planet is going to sound a bit like Billy Connolly for this stream. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, time to watch the cutscenes and get started. Has been a while, hasn't it? I've kind of forgotten how to do this. This is Captain Olimar. He is piloting a ship called the SS Dolphin, which is a reference to what the GameCube was known as when it was in prototype form. This is not his spaceship, this is some sort of asteroid. That's his spaceship, which has got a giant Pokeball on the front because reasons. And then, oh, of all the chances, of all the tiny little rocks floating through space, he just doesn't look where he's going. Basically, at this point, Captain Olimar is like the captain of the Titanic, where he must have seen that thing coming and just bang. Next thing you know, he has fallen to Earth. I love this little animation here. I love this little, where you can actually visibly see the spaceship fragmenting into all the parts. And it looks like they get scattered over quite a large area, but they actually only get scattered over 5 distinct areas in the game. And this is the first one, which is conveniently called the impact site. What are the chances that Captain Olimar crash lands there? GameCube drinking game, take a drink every time you see a dolphin referenced. Yep. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. My name is Captain Olimar. When travelling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird green planet. With so many parts lost, green parts I should say, the skeletal hull of my beloved green dolphin is a painful sight. The yellow engine is gone. I'm stranded. Do you fight Meta Ridley at the impact site? We'll see. We'll just have to see what the Pikmin dig up. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous yellow oxygen. My green life support systems can function for only 30 red days. If I can't repair the green dolphin by then, no, better no think about it. I must find the green missing ship parts. Yes, so Olimar actually, on his home planet, he is a teacher at a Japanese academy called Hokoteti Shujin Academy. So here we are, we're off and running. So yeah, this is little Olimar. He's named Olimar because it is he's named for the Japanese for Mario spelled backwards, because this game is made by Shigeru Miyamoto, who, if you don't know, is the creator of Super Mario and a whole bunch of other ones. So they took his name, but they said Mario backwards in Japanese, and Mario became Olimar, and so this guy is Olimar. I've forgotten how you zoom out. Can you zoom out? You might not be able to zoom out in this. This is day 1. This is the tutorial level. So normally you'll see when we get into when you get into day 2, there'll be like a sun going across the top of the screen, because day 2 onwards they have limited. You have limited time to complete the day. But day 1, because it's a tutorial, this day is endless. They're stuck in eternal sunlight. Basically, the Earth has stopped rotating, but for this day only. So yeah, so we're just having a little wander around. He's got a little attack like that. Basically, he sort of just does that. He kind of paws at whatever's in front of him, kind of like a sort of lazy cat, you know, just go on. Just oh you. I do declare. And then he walks around. So on the Wii version, which the gang from Smashterpieces will be playing later today, you can use the Wii Pointer Controls to move this little cursor about here. You can point that, but on the GameCube version they don't have that. So it's kind of like Smash Brothers, where if you tilt the stick a little bit, you do one thing, and in this case that's moving the cursor. If you push the stick out all the way, Olimar runs like that. So you can run, and then you can move the cursor just by using the tilt a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but otherwise it's not too bad. And most of the other things we can't do yet. Oh yeah, you can press Y and you bring up your stats. You will get a map on there at some point. And then you've got all your controls here as well, which I should probably have talked about before I started demonstrating them. Anyway, this thing here is the onion. Let's see what it does. The captain of the Titanic did see the iceberg and tried to stop the engine and steer, but the boat had too much mass to slow down in time. I know how it feels. Got to get back to the gym. A strange red thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single green seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. Sorry, it resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. Or maybe if you are a chemistry student, it's an onion. That's a very, very, very niche joke. So here we go. So this thing has just sprouted legs, and it's now got a little daisy on its head. This is going to be one of the sort of pods that we recruit all our Pikmin and keep all of our Pikmin in. But let's say hi to our first little creature. Did you watch Through the Dragon's Eye at school? The name Olimar reminds me of that. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say no. The seed, the red seed that the red onion dropped, took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange purple light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I can't help but think it's calling to me. I'm compelled. I must approach it and press A. Okay, here we go. You ready? Let the miracle of life commence! Aren't they just adorable? Extraordinary! When I plucked the green sprout, it turned out to be a red living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick branded carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and X as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. L, rotate the camera. R, zoom in and out. Z, change angle. I must survive! I need to familiarise myself with these controls and my surroundings. So yeah, so this is Pikmin. This whole thing started when So the last game that Smashterpieces covered was Luigi's Mansion, which started out as a GameCube tech demo before becoming a fully fledged game. And Pikmin started out as something similar, because they wanted to show off the power of the GameCube in terms of how many characters they could have on screen at the one time. And they had a demo alongside Luigi's Mansion when they first showed off the GameCube, and they called it Super Mario 128. And it was basically like a giant sort of circular arena with 128 Marios all running around on it. And, alright, hang on Olimar, let me finish what I'm saying, alright? And the 128 Marios, they thought, well, what can we do? We can't have 128 Marios on the screen, so let's turn them into 100 creatures. And then that's how Pikmin happened, because they thought, okay, let's turn this into a game in which you have to control 100 little creatures all at once. And it was basically their way of showing off that the GameCube was powerful enough to handle 100 creatures all acting independently, all on the screen at the same time. Okay, we'll not go into Olimar's inner thoughts just yet. So I can pick him up and throw him like that, and he'll land wherever the cursor is. And then he turns grey, the Pikmin. I mean, I say he, I don't know its gender. Sorry if I misgendered you, Pikmin. And then you can use your whistle to call him back. So you can also use your Pikmin to attack. So you can hold down your Pikmin and throw it. So we're going to throw it at this flower and see if it can take it off. And then it attacks the flower. And then this is a little red pellet, and it's got a giant 1 on it. And that 1 means that it can be carried by 1 Pikmin. Isn't nature amazing? Like, just naturally in the ground, it's grown these pellets that it knows the exact mathematical strength formula of the creatures that are necessarily that need to carry it. And I've already forgotten how to speak. Anyway. Astonishing! The onion has sown more red seeds! The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a purple flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of green incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So now we just have to wait for them to grow. Only takes a few seconds for them to become leaves. However, you can get higher ranks of Pikmin. So there are 3 ranks of Pikmin. This little guy here, if we can zoom all the way in, you can see this little guy's got a leaf on their head. If you leave them in the ground for a little longer, that leaf will turn into a bud, and then eventually it will turn into a flower. And flower Pikmin are the highest rank. They are the ones that run the fastest, they are the most powerful, and they attack the fastest as well. So you have to keep that in mind. It's part of the strategy where you think, if I pluck them out of the ground immediately, obviously I've got more creatures that I can do more things with faster. But if you leave them in the ground for longer, they grow just like normal flowers. And so you have to think, should I pluck them now or should I wait for later? So there's a bit of strategy involved in that. So we'll leave them to get that. See, in the later games, whenever they knock down a pellet, they immediately pick it up and take it. So there we go, so we'll do that. So there's our ship. Some historians believe the early civilization based its mathematical theories on the number of Pikmin it took to carry a pellet. Yep. Well, I never really found out why or how Miyamoto came up with the name Pikmin. Because I would have thought, when I first saw this game, when I first played this game, I would have thought that the name Pikmin was too similar to Pokemon for them to want to use that. It might just confuse people. Pikmin is basically because you've got Pikmin, Pokemon, and Pac-Man, and they're all very different games. But then in Japan, Pokemon is Pocket Monster, which I guess means they don't really see that confusion as much. So there's a 1 there. So these numbers you've got at the bottom of the screen here, the leftmost number, the 004, is how many Pikmin you've got in your little party at the moment. So I've got 4 following me. The middle number there, the 005, is how many Pikmin are in the field at any one time, in the level. And that can be a maximum of 100. And then the number on the right, the 0005, is the number of total Pikmin you have in your collection, including all the ones that are also in the onion. Picket Minsters. Oh, that's what I'm going to have to call it from now on, Picket Minsters. Oh, that's brilliant. It just makes it sound like we're playing this game in New Zealand, doesn't it? You know? This game is basically Pac-Man for people who live in New Zealand. Just imagine Korg from Thor Ragnarok just going, "Hey man, just got in from Wellington there. There's an arcade next door. What do you say we head over and play some Pikmin? You know, we can go over, we can play some Pikmin, we can say piss off to a ghost." Yeah. You can tell the stream's going well when it's like 10 minutes in and I'm already doing a New Zealand accent. Hey, Dr. Dead is here. How you doing, mate? There's merit and benefit to leaving Pikmin in the ground. Yes. Packet monsters. That's the American one. In New Zealand they say picket minsters. In this country we say pocket monsters, and in America they say pocket monsters. So, we've now got 12 Pikmin. I think we've exhausted all of the little pellets. Or possibly not, there might be some more up the top here. Let's have a look. Let's just have a wander around. We don't have to worry about running out of time or anything. This is day one. Like I said before, we've got 30 days in which to finish the game. Oh, hang on. What's this up here? It's another pellet. Let's get this one. I think you end day one with 25 pellets, if I'm not mistaken. So... Come on, you stupid thing. There you go. Sometimes they notice the pellets right away, and sometimes they just stand there and go, what should I do with this? But yeah, so I've now got 11, and see this, I think it's a paper bag, a brown paper bag, with a giant 10 on it. I wonder what the 10 means. We'll have to find out. The other thing you can do, this is what I was talking about on the episode of Smashterpieces that we just had. The C-stick. The reason I'm playing this on the GameCube and not the Wii is the C-stick, because if you move the C-stick, you can control your swarm of Pikmin independently of Olimar. So you can direct them to either battle enemies or to head towards items, or you can direct them to keep away from hazards. So like if there's a wall of fire and you have some Pikmin that would die to fire, you can sort of hold down the C-stick to keep them pushed against the wall. I don't know if the Wii version has that option, but it'll be interesting to find out when the gang play the Wii version later. So, we've got 10 Pikmin there, and once you've got 10 Pikmin, that's enough to push the bag away, and that's one obstacle out of the way. Your accent work is, let's say, exemplary. Thank you, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Actually, in America, we say that devil worship game. That's all of them, isn't it? The red Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin. Release to throw. Press B to call them. X to dismiss. Use C to command and control the group. L, R and Z control perspective. I shall record all of this in my computer. I can press Y to access the computer. Don't know why you're telling your diary that. But yeah, and just by sheer coincidence and sheer convenience, what have we got here but the actual engine to the rocket ship? Mega Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, I mean, people had the same thing to say about they have the same thing to say about any sort of new thing that they don't understand. Not they as in Americans specifically, but you know, certain people, shall we say. Amazing! There's no mistake in it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? You literally just talked about using the Pikmin as a team, you idiot. Okay, we're gonna ignore the engine for a minute because we've got a few more pellets. You want to maximize your army as much as possible.
You're back.
And I'm going to see how long I can go without suffering a single Pikmin death, because I am of the opinion that the most heartbreaking sound in all of video games is the death cry of a Pikmin. Oh, David, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, that's awesome. I actually should say, in the month that I was off, I did get another follow from someone who also followed me on Twitter. So Klazor, I think that's how you spell your username. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if she's watching or not, but cool. But yeah, thank you for the resub. That's awesome, David. It's good to be back. And the thing about this is that, so the bottom number of this, let's see this 5/8 or whatever it is. The bottom number is how many Pikmin are carrying it. The top number is how many Pikmin you need to carry it. And you can actually use more Pikmin to speed up the carrying. You know Klazar from another stream? Yeah, so she's a fellow quizzer. She's on Only Connect this season, which is really awesome. I can't remember the name of the team that she's on, but yeah, she's one of the contestants this season, which is really cool. I got a follow in your month off. It was some of your best content. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, harsh but true. Oh, do you see that? You see that? When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pluck all the Pikmin from the ground. You see that? See the one, I'm not going to press A just yet, but you see the Pikmin right in front of Olimar with that little white thing on its head? That's a bud. That is a bud Pikmin. That Pikmin has been in the ground long enough that it has started to level up. So that is a level 2 Pikmin out of 3. It's her team, the Job Hobbiers. No, it's... I can't remember what it is. It's... As soon as you... as soon as I see it, I'll know it. I'll remember it, obviously. But I think it's a 2-word name, and I can't remember what it is. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright colour. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. They can become filled with excitement and flushed with bright colour. So basically, they become a pride parade. Okay, so we've now got one bud. We've got one bud Pikmin. Oh, we've got 2 bud Pikmin. I guess I'll tap A. Do the buttons exist within the game? Yeah, it's a whole existential thing. Best not to ask them about it, because then they get into a whole, oh my god, am I a real person, or am I just being controlled by some almighty nerd with a controller? So you can see you've got 2. If I turn it this way, you better. You can see I've got 2 Pikmin with buds on their head now, and they run faster than the rest. So the bud Pikmin will be following me very closely, and the leaf Pikmin will be trying to catch up. So I think we've now got all the Pikmin we can get on day 1. Like I say, on day 1 you can just take your time, you can get used to the controls, you can get used to what you have to do. When it comes to doing the 9-day challenge, day 1 is going to be very boring, because we are just going to be waiting for every single one of these Pikmin to become flowers, so that we can use them as quickly as we can and as optimally as we can. But that's for another time. So let's get started with this. And swarm! So you need at least 20 Pikmin in order to carry that, but now we've got 25, so that's alright. Are there any bomb rocks in there? No, there's not. Bomb rocks are something that's going to become a really annoying thing in this game. It's another thing that they fixed in the Wii version, because bomb rocks in this game are a pain in the hole. Absolutely. So much so that they took them out of Pikmin 2 and then put them back in Pikmin 3. But yeah, bomb rocks in this game are a bit of a nightmare. Can't use bomb rocks in day 1 anyway. No, it's not. Yeah, sorry. Dr. Des doing a lot of explaining in the chat, which is really good, because just in case I miss anything, if anyone has any questions. Desaturated and glowing. I'm a Pikmin not under command. That's an opening line of a dating profile right there. I can't wait to hear the death cry of a Pikminster. I don't trust them at all. Wow. So there we go. By sheer coincidence, we have found the single ship part that allows us to go to other areas. Oh, David, thank you very much for the gift sub. That's awesome. Enjoy your sub, Dr. Dad. That's really cool. I'm just gonna pop that up there. Okay, just keep an eye on that for now. Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. Well, that was lucky. Imagine if the engine had been on, like, you know, the other end of the map. Then you'd have been truly screwed, wouldn't you? The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search ... starts tomorrow! Because now we can have it tomorrow. And here. I love the end of day jingle. I think it's my favourite bit of music in the whole game. Let's look in a bit. Yeah, so there are different endings for this game, depending on how well you do. So there are certain ship parts that you have to get in order to finish the game. You don't have to get all of them in order to finish the game. There are 30 parts in total, and you have 30 days to collect them. But there are certain parts that will allow you to finish the game earlier. And you also get a bad ending where if you run out of time, it's game over. And yeah, what happens to you when you game over and run out of oxygen on this planet is rather disturbing. Maybe we'll see that sometime. But yeah. Right. 1 day since impact. I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. So yeah, this is where sunset becomes a thing that you have to worry about, because if you get to the end of the day and you are not in control of all your Pikmin, if they're off doing other things for you, then if sunset comes, they will get eaten by the monsters and you will lose your Pikmin at the end of the day. They will just die. So you have to make sure to collect all your Pikmin back with you by the end of the day. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hokotate. Hokotate? Hokotate. Something like that. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I name it the Forest of Hopi. I explore it tomorrow. So here we go. So there's our first stat. You get an end of day stat screen every time you do one of these things. Oh, run out of oxygen. I thought it was poisonous oxygen. Yeah. You know what I mean. No, you're absolutely right. I cocked that up. It's poisonous oxygen, yeah. This is apparently a post-apocalyptic Earth that Olimar has crash-landed on. So this is really cool. It's kind of, you get a little graph of how your, of the levels of Pikmin that have risen and fallen over the course of the day. So some days, if you go into a battle and you lose a whole bunch of Pikmin, you'll just see that line just drop, and it's quite depressing. But yeah, so we sprouted 25. We didn't lose any in battle because there wasn't a battle. And we didn't leave behind any. The left behind is the one where if you don't pick them up by the end of sunset, then yeah. Anyway, we're going to Savvy. You also, if you say don't save, then you can just reset and do it again. Actually, that's something I should probably let Joe know in his stream, is that it does actually give you the option to save at the end of the day, or you can say don't save and then you can reset. Okay, because I said the game, I think I said on the episode that the game auto-saves at the end of the day, and it doesn't auto-save in Pikmin 1. It gives you the option to save. So we're going to save, because obviously I haven't done anything wrong yet, because I'm perfect. Think how big the Pikmin are compared to Olimar. They're not tiny, terrifying. Well, you say that. However, Olimar himself is canonically very small. I think he's about the size of a 50p piece, I remember from the manual. Also, we're just going to sit here on the map screen for a minute and just listen to this music. Because this is an iconic piece of music and no one ever hears it. So we're just going to listen to this while I look for the manual. Hey, Fangs, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, so there we go. So that is Olimar and Pikmin to scale. Do 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 So that is one of the Pikmin themes there. And for years and years, I didn't realise that this song was in Pikmin 1. That's it. You hear it a lot in Pikmin 2, and you hear it a lot in Smash Brothers, because one of the main remixes for Smash Brothers is and I never heard that for the longest time, because how much time would you spend on this map screen? This map screen has maximum like 5 areas you can go to. You're sitting on it for maybe 30 seconds max. I mean, what do I choose here? But the music is so good, you just never hear it because you never spend enough time on this screen thinking about what you're going to do. Anyway, so this is the starting area, this is the impact site. You can see the stars in the bottom right. They're the parts that you have to collect. There's only one other part in the impact site, but we're not going to be able to get that for quite a while yet. So we're going to go to the Forest of Hope, and we'll get started. Where we'll find our second of 3 Pikmin types. The Pikmin type with ears. Let me know how the if you can hear the music all right, or if I've just been talking about music that none of you can hear. I'll maybe turn up the sound a little bit. My dolphin has returned to the surface along with the Pikmin's onion. Being alone on this strange planet makes me somewhat uneasy, so I shall call the Pikmin out of the onion. All I need to do is stand in the light beneath the onion and press A. Okay. So now we're actually working against the clock. So I'm going to start by recruiting a couple more. So we've got a yellow bud here. We're going to just get this for now because we're not going to get any yellow Pikmin for a while yet. As you can see, you've got a big stone wall there. We're going to have to do something with that. Get them to collect that, and then we'll get them to collect that, and then the rest of you, we're actually going to level up, because in this grass here, we're going to find something called nectar, which is nectar. And when they all drink the nectar... Another intriguing discovery! A local variety of grass produces a sort of yellow nectar. When the Pikmin drink this delicacy, they instantly mature into flowers. This apparent Pikmin favourite seems to be full of nutrition. Closer observation is needed to determine the strengths and peculiarities of these flower Pikmin. Oh. So in later games, the amount of Pikmin that can drink the nectar is the same for every single one, but in this game, it is just how many Pikmin are standing near it when the first Pikmin starts drinking it. So as soon as the first Pikmin starts drinking the nectar, the amount of nectar starts going down. And you'll either have one Pikmin that can drink all the nectar, or you'll have, like, I don't know, 20. It's just how many you'll have in contact with the Pikmin at any one time. So what you want is you want to have the flower Pikmin pluck in the grass, bringing out the nectar, so that the rest of it, there it is. And then get all your leaf Pikmin around it to drink it, and that's where the sea stick comes in handy as well. And then there's more over here. So hopefully all of my Pikmin should be flowers now. Come on. There you go. And now we've got all flower Pikmin, so these are now much faster and much better. So if I start knocking down this wall now with these flower Pikmin, it should go a lot faster. And there's not much else I can do around here at this point. This is kind of bad. This is not what you want if you want to be a good Pikmin player. You don't want to be standing around waiting for your Pikmin to do something. You should always have a couple of other things going on. Hey, insert joke here. How you doing, mate? It's not Pac-Man, it's Pokemon. I'm sorry to break it to you. The PAL release is about 16.5 minutes. I think it's 16:15. You're right. So I think it's 13.5 minutes in every other version, of Pikmin 1. But on the PAL GameCube version, because it runs at 50 Hz, it's it's about 16.5 minutes. You can't get any more done though because of the frame rate, so you just have a little bit more thinking time, which is kind of a bit of an advantage. But yeah, we've got a good turnout today. I'm happy with this. So yeah, if you use the podcast command, you'll get an explanation of exactly what I'm doing Pikmin for, and you'll get a link to the pre-show of the last episode, which I was. There we go. Okay, that's our first creature. That's a mini. I think it's a mini bulborb they're called. So yeah, so we're just gonna start. I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of Pikmin. I'm just gonna build my army. I'm gonna build me an army worthy of Mordor. So you can also harvest the dead bodies. So yeah, I think Lauren might have a point when she says the Pikmin are evil, because they do actually kill their enemies and then harvest their organs for to make more of themselves, which is kind of a little demented if you don't think about it too hard, because this is a children's game. You know, you shouldn't be thinking about the dark stuff in a children's game too hard. This is another one. You can either swarm it. Let's just swarm this and see what happens. There we go. Sometimes you can kill those things by landing a Pikmin right on top of them and just sort of getting a knockout punch. Other times it's easier, in a lot of cases when you've got enemies, it's sometimes easier to just smother them to death and sort of drown them in Pikmin. We'll get this 5 here. You can see the giant enemy in the background. We'll deal with him another time. Lord always has a point. Hey Saul, how are you? Good to see you. Did you just add a quote about... Oh, yeah, alright. Yeah, that's probably fair. But yeah, so they're just harvesting themselves, and you can see in the bottom right there, I've now got 40 Pikmin in the field. I've got a 10 there. I'm going to wait, I'm going to get my army back. I'm not going to pluck any more Pikmin, because we don't need any more at the moment. I think 25 is enough. Or 27, or however much we've got. But yeah, so we'll leave them to get flowery for now, and we'll try kill. Yeah, so if you land right on the top, you kill them in one shot. So there we go. So I might just so we'll take things at a leisurely pace. I'm not trying to rush things at the moment. I'm just trying to get a feel for the game at the moment. You can see the bomb rocks in the can there. And then what have we got here? Why? It's the Eternal Fuel Dynamo! It has an unlimited energy supply. I won't have to worry about saving electricity anymore. This will make my flight for survival a bit easier. Olimar, in this house we obey the laws of thermodynamics. Unlimited energy supply, my arse. Alright. So do I want to get the ship part, or do I want to get this? So I'm hammering down the button there, and that's about as fast as Olimar will fire Pikmin just on his own. It's sort of just like bang, 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 bang. However, oh crap, I didn't even see that guy. Oof, that could have been bad. But yes, Insert Joke is absolutely right. You can actually increase the fire speed a lot with the C-Stick, which is the reason I love the GameCube version. Look at all these. Look at my Urukai that I'm growing underground here. Whom do you serve? Olimar. So we've now almost got 100. We don't really need 100. In fact, we can't have 100 because we're about to get some yellows. But we spend the first half of the day. We're almost at noon. We spend the first half of the day just getting as many reds as they can, and then in the second half of the day we can focus on the yellows. But I'm just gonna, so you can use the C-Stick just to fire them all like that, and just keep bombarding it, and there you go. You don't want to let it get too close, because then it will start eating your Pikmin, and that thing will eat your Pikmin and they will die instantly, so you have to be very, very careful. Oh, I can hear a little sound effect of the first Pikmin leveling up. Did you just say your arse has an unlimited energy supply? Oh, I mean, I don't like to boast about it, you know. I think that's like third date subject you have to broach. So I've done that. So I'm going to leave this lot to actually start breaking down this wall, because the yellow Pikmin are behind here. So we're going to leave them to do that. And I'm going to go and get get some of the other ones to get that ship piece. You can see fish in the water over there. We're going to deal with them shortly. Actually, we're not going to deal with them shortly. We'll deal with them several days from now when we get Pikmin that can breathe underwater. So at this point, I could actually just pluck all these Pikmin and just use this Nectar here to insta-flower them. But I wouldn't be able to get all of them at once. So I want to try and see if I can get as many of them flowered as I can. Because the time that I take now will help me later. Because I won't have to wait for Pikmin to do anything. Now, do I want to... Yeah, we want to knock down this wall. I'll get the ship part in a bit. There's plenty of time to get that ship part. But we need to get this wall knocked down because we need to get our second Pikmin by the end of the day. Swarming is only a good option in Pikmin 1. Pikmin 2 swarming is much less viable. In Pikmin 3 they have the lock-on and charge mechanic, yeah. My clock has indicated the coming of noon. From now on, I must pay close attention to the sun meter on my monitor and choose my actions accordingly. So it's best for me to review my monitor's data. Across the top of my monitor are the sun meter and day display. At the bottom are my spacesuit damage meter. Oh yeah, Olimar has a health bar, I should have mentioned that. And Pikmin Gaugies. From the left, these numbers reflect the Pikmin under my command, Pikmin in the field, and total Pikmin, including those in onions. To adjust my monitor, I can press L to rotate the camera. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so that green circle in the bottom left is Olimar's health, and Olimar can actually die. And when I say die, the Pikmin then carry him back to his spaceship. So we're just, I'm bored at this point, so we're just gonna get them all out. And there's no way to do this quickly, you just have to... You do get an upgrade later in the game, I think it's in Pikmin 1. You do get an upgrade where you can whistle and they just leap out of the ground immediately, but for now, get used to hearing those little sound effects. Just the little Pikmin's cries. I love them. We're not going to see any flowers today, because basically it does effectively take the whole day for them to flower up, so we're not going to see too many. A more convenient upgrade to Park Pikmin is not until Pikmin 2. Okay, so we're not going to see that. But we got a flower! We got a couple of flowers. Okay, got a couple of flowers. Okay, so let's see how many of them we can get drinking the nectar. Not that many. Okay, that's fine. So, we'll help them knock down the wall. When I was younger, I'd mimic the Pikmin sounds that pull them out. Yeah, I mean, it is really fun. And oh, they finished the wall. Awesome. Okay, so we'll send a few to take care of this. And then we'll take down the enemies in between. So how many is this going to be? It's probably about... Oh, 40, wow. That'll do. You are taking it, right? Yeah, they're taking it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was mashing the whole time there, so we'll just kill this guy. Oh my god, no, you stupid... No, he's gonna get eaten, he's gonna get eaten! No! Oh, and there we have our first deaths. Oh! I made it to day 2 before they died. Oh my god. Okay, just bombard them, bombard them, bombard them. It's already not going well, it's already not going well. Come on. See, this is why I'm glad I had 50 of the bastards. Ah! Stop eating! There we go. Okay, so that was bad. But we have to sacrifice our reds for now. You can never escape the horrors of war, yeah. You couldn't really quite hear the the death throes of the Pikmin, but it's horrible. This should light things up. No more candles for me. You had a lit candle in your spaceship? No wonder it crashed. I have now recovered 2 out of 30 parts. If I can just find 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Are you telling me our red Pikmin are red shirts? I mean, the clue's in the colour, Fangs. Come on. Anyway, this is what we came for. This is kind of like Breath of the Wild, in that you get all of your upgrades relatively early on, and then you're just left to figure out the rest of the game with them. I say all of your upgrades, all of your abilities, rather. So, wait for it. Wait for it. Man, do you see the kid on those ears? They are the 3 colours of the Enterprise crew. The colour is different, but it seems to be a Pikmin nonetheless. First glance suggests this one has what, in some circles, could be considered very large ears. It looks like it may weigh less than the others. In what other ways might it be different from the red Pikmin? No matter, they are obviously quite similar, so I shall call this one a Pikmin as well. So yeah. The good thing about this is you can actually dismiss your Pikmin army. Dismissed! And then you can just pick up the colour that you want. They separate into the different colours. So, we're going to do a bit of work here. Just to grow a few yellows. Reds are kind of pretty much done. I think, is there another wall for them to knock down? Not really, no. It's all rock walls, really. So the reds are kind of done for the day. At some point, we can use them to help carry. So when you're carrying, if you have multiple colours of Pikmin carrying the same thing, then if they're carrying it back to the onion to make more Pikmin, whichever colour has the higher number of Pikmin carrying it, will take it to their onion. So if I have 6 yellows and 4 reds carrying an enemy, then it will take it to the yellow onion. So you can kind of use that to calculate what you need. So I've got 5 yellows now. So we'll get these. In fact, we'll get this one first. Yeah, so one of the things about yellow Pikmin is that they go much, much higher when you throw them. Which means that you can use them to get ship parts that are on high ledges. When it comes to the end of the day, the Pikmin that won't die, if you have any Pikmin in the field, the Pikmin that won't die are the ones that are either within range of the onions or are in Olimar's party. I have made yet another Pikmin-related discovery. Just when I was about to exceed 100 Pikmin in the field, the onions stopped expelling seeds. Oh crap, I forgot about that. Yet the total number of Pikmin continued to climb. It seems that once there are 100 Pikmin in the field, subsequent seeds get stored inside the onion. Thus, no more than 100 Pikmin can be in the field at any one time. So yeah, so this is the limitations of the game. So you've got to think, you can't just make an army of 1,000 Pikmin. I mean, you can, but you can only have 100 of them at a time. So we'll just wait for these guys. This is actually quite good. I actually quite like this, because this means that you can make a lot more yellow Pikmin without having to wait for them to pluck. And also you can see the sunsets happening. So I don't have a map yet, so I have to hope that all the Pikmin are... how many we've got? We've got 12. Okay, right. So... there's that little trumpet sound. I forgot about that when you move your Pikmin around. So I'm actually going to take these guys back because there's nothing else for them to do. Don't think too much about the darkness of children's game, but the more I watch, the more I remember why I started avoiding utter panic as soon as it was remotely close. Yeah, it's interesting. It does. There is a bit of. Oh, hang on. Music's fading. Okay. So I'm going to leave them there. They will make their way back into the onion from there, but they are still in the field, which means that I can make more yellow Pikmin that will stay in the onion, because there's no need for them to come out of the onion. Hey, Nutty, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So we can actually farm a couple more pellets and not have to worry about waiting for them to grow. And I'm wondering if I might even have time to knock down a couple of these walls. You're going to start your VTuber career tomorrow as a black cat on Friday the 13th. Oh wow, it's Friday the 13th tomorrow. I didn't even think of that. That's awesome, Nutty. Congrats. I hope it goes well for you. My cloak is indicating the approach of sunset. Pikmin waiting beneath the onion and dolphin and onions will probably enter the onions on their own. But if I don't call the stragglers and add them to my group, they may not be able to get back. I am sure that the Pikmin still planted are safe, but I am somewhat concerned about leaving Pikmin to fend for themselves in the darkness. Okay, so, we're alright yet, we haven't had the countdown, so I'm going to try something. The yellow Pikmin have picked up some peculiar stones. Why did they decide to grab them? This action seems to be instinctive to the yellow Pikmin. But just what are these strange glowing stones? Brightly glowing cracks cover them. Perhaps these cracks indicate that there's tremendous power locked away within. This merits further research. It certainly does, but only if you're super careful. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, I should be all right here. And wait for it. One. Oh. The glowing rocks the yellow Pikmin picked up seem to be explosive stones. Perhaps they know that these stones can be used as powerful weapons. The bomb rocks are dangerous, so I must take care when using them, but they should be able to blast open the stone walls that block the pathways. I might even be able to use them against some of the wild creatures. I must be vigilant. Pikmin I displace by pressing X bring their bombs when I call them back. Pikmin I throw by pressing A drop their bombs when I call them back. Keep clear of the explosion. When I touch Pikmin directly, they keep their bombs and fall in line. This is the part that screws me over, and this is the reason I think that bomb rocks didn't come back in Pikmin 2, is that you always forget that when you throw a Pikmin and call it back, it will drop its bomb. But it feels like there's some kind of glitch or something. I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just my incompetence. You know, that's a quote. But they will sometimes just spontaneously drop their bombs in the middle of a crowd of Pikmin, and you will just get 70 Pikmin just getting blown to hell. And you just hear the most heartbreaking sound in video games 70 times in a row. Bomb rocks are in Pikmin 2 as a dungeon. Oh my god, so they are! I completely forgot that they were in Pikmin 2, because they drop from the ceiling, don't they? Oh my, yeah. Pikmin 2 is a nightmare, if any of you saw my streams on that last year. Anyway, you're going to play on a C64 Mini. I don't know that. That's interesting. Is that a Commodore 64? Wow, that's retro. I like that. Right. So yes, that's just blowing up that one. We haven't had the countdown yet, so I'm going to get 3 more. I love how the music sort of gets quieter and quieter. Come on. Okay, I've got to be quick here, but I can do this. Run away, run away, run away. Just made it. But that should be it. We've got the walls down. We've got the yellow Pikmin. And that's day 2. I'm only just realising as well, the music is slightly slower again. That is slower than it normally is. It's the Sonic 1 effect. The entire game is running at 50 Hz, including the music. So the music is slightly slower than it is in the Japanese and American versions. I've only ever noticed it with 2 games. Pikmin 1 and Sonic 1 on the original Mega Drive. So yeah, that's why the days are slightly longer. Okay. If you sort your Pikmin and call them, they drop their bombs. Yeah. Well, the thing was that in the instructions there, it was saying that if you throw your Pikmin and call them, they drop their bombs. Whereas if you dismiss them and call them, they keep them. See, this is why it's all very confusing. And you don't want to be confused when you're handling explosives. Anyway, 2 days since impact. It appears that many of my ship's parts have landed in this region. If I can just recover the parts of my radar, I should be able to use my radar screen. How that would improve my chances. Then I'd only have to press Y to locate my parts. So for the 9-day challenge, at this point, I should have collected like 4 ship parts. So that's going to be interesting. Yet, ... there seem to be many hostile life forms here. If I am attacked and my spacesuit takes damage, I must return to my ship, stand in front of it and press A to make suit repairs. As I explore, I must pay attention to my suit's damage meter in the bottom left corner of the screen. So there we go, there's a little graphs. I love these little graphs, although when you can see a little sort of dip, it's always a little heartbreaking. We lost 6 Pikmin in battle. So it is the Commodore 64. Autistic Game Guy, hello, good to see you. Dismissing they keep throwing the drop, but that's only on GC. On Wii, they always keep if you whistle. Yeah, so I'm playing Pikmin 1 on GameCube just because it's the original version. It's the version that I've grown up with. I'm playing this for a podcast called Smashterpieces. If you use the podcast command in the chat, you'll get more information about that. But yeah, I love this game. I've played this game a lot. Welcome to the stream. All right, well, we're going to savvy because I'm not going to reset that one just yet. So, we've got 1 out of 8 parts. So, yeah, when I do the 9-day challenge later this month, I'll be trying to get 4 of those 8 parts in the 1 day. It's going to be interesting. As much as I like Wii controls, I honestly like using an actual controller better. I'm the same as you. I really like having the C-stick on this. Can't play this game because I restart the day every time I use a Pikmin. Well, deathless runs are quite common in the Pikmin sort of speedrunning / challenge doing community. So now the yellow Pikmin is at the headquarters. There are no bomb rocks for that stone wall on the left, but okay. So we'll immediately get started. We'll get out all of our yellows. I don't know who all of our yellows is, but apparently we're getting him out. And then we're going to get out, I think 50 reds. 50 reds, 50 yellows, that should do it. And then we'll just get a few more yellows. And then the good thing is that the grass all grows back, so we can get a bit more nectar. And the good thing about this is, if you hold down, watch this, if you hold down the Pikmin that you're about to throw, the rest of the Pikmin line up in order of what you're going to throw. So the flower Pikmin line up, then the bud Pikmin, then the leaf Pikmin, and then the different colours. Once you get the hang of it, you can avoid death pretty consistently. Yeah, I mean, I find that's true for life as well. You know, once you get the hang of how to cross the road, you can avoid death pretty consistently. Okay, so yeah, there's all the nectar coming out now. So take one of our yellows and get that. I don't want to spend too much time at the start of the day farming Pikmin, but we need to get a few flowery yellows. So that was a decent amount. And then we just got all this lot. Come on. Oh, that was just a handful of reds that got that one. Was that 4 reds that took all that nectar? Oh my god. There we go. So the good thing about this is that if you go back to the same area 2 days in a row, the enemies that you killed on the first day will not have respawned on the second. They take, I think, 2 or 3 days to respawn, so it's not too bad. I think that's all we can get for now. So we'll just pluck these last 2 and then we'll start making a move. Because we might be able to face a boss or 2 today, we'll see. Just wait for these to... There we go. At least it wasn't just one greedy Pikmin. Yeah, it could have been worse. Those are the worst. When you take like 20 Pikmin to get flowered up and one little bastard takes them all. So this yellow one's back, so we'll get that. You want to try and get them to land on top of the flowers because no, I don't want the red. I want the yellows. In later Pikmin games, you can hold on to the Pikmin and change what color you're holding. Okay, so we'll take a yellow to get that. Another yellow there. Is there any point in doing that bridge? No, there's not, because you need blue Pikmin for Okay, and they've just destroyed a flower stem before the thing had actually grown. That was moronic of you guys. Hey, Rez. Hey, welcome back, mate. Yeah, I've been on holiday for the past month, so I'm finally back. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Oh, so many people are here. It's like a welcoming party. It's wonderful to see. Hope you've all been well. I'm playing Pikmin for Smashterpieces. I'm a guest on the latest episode of their podcast. So yeah, I'm revisiting one of my old favourites. And just trying to think of stuff to say on the podcast. So here we go. We're going to have another couple of battles here. Are we going to be able to... Actually, it looks like we're not able to do much in this area yet because we need to push that bag out of the way, and to do that we need water Pikmin, which are the blue Pikmin. So we won't actually be able to do much here. So we're going to just nope our way out of this area for now, and we'll head over here instead. So yeah, I don't want them to pick up any bomb rocks. So hopefully they don't. Yeah, they don't pick up bomb rocks automatically. Good. So we'll try and. So this is a case where it's easier just to swarm them, because you do get these burrowing creatures which come out, and they are eating my Pikmin. So you just have to try and swarm them as much as you can, do it as fast as you can. And they are just attacking me. The trick is to try and smother them to the point where you, even if they get a Pikmin in their mouth, they only what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? We're not done with you yet. The Pikmin. So what am I trying to say? Yeah, these things. So there's more of them. Even if they grab a Pikmin in their mouth, the Pikmin only dies when the creature swallows them. So you have a few seconds in which to try and kill the creature before the Pikmin actually dies. So you can rescue your Pikmin sometimes. Anyway, there's another ship part up here, so we're going to grab this one up here, and you have to use yellow Pikmin for this one because it's up high. I'm going to wait for them to take it down. Oh my god! David, thank you so much for the gift subs. Oh wow, okay, hang on. Did someone say party? Oh, brilliant. Autistic Game Guy, MK, hello. Vixie and Pepperima, hello. Wow, we've got quite a lot of people watching today. This is awesome. Oh, David, you're an absolute legend, my friend. Thank you so much for the gift subs. Hope you guys enjoy them. Happy welcome back party. Oh, thank you. It's possible those are sheer grubs. Only the purple ones eat Pikmin, the white ones are just distractions. Reds can reach the radar just fine, you don't need yellows there. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I've just always got them with yellows. I'm still learning things about this game 20 years on. So we're going to ignore the radar for the minute, and I'm going to use my yellows to farm these because I need to get more. Thankfully, these are just one each. And I haven't broken down the other walls yet, because then the Pikmin will take it the shortest route. And when the Pikmin take it the shortest route, they will take it the shortest route regardless of what enemies are in the way. They will just go as the crow flies, even if it's going to get them killed. So I'm not going to open up any of the other doors just yet, because then they will just take the ship part and the creatures and everything through through a war zone. Is this all the... What's that? Okay, so there's another ship part behind there, but we need more bomb rocks to do that. We might be able to get that before the end of the day, we'll see. I want to get yellow Pikmin to carry all these things. I'm off to bed because I'm cool and young, had an awful night. Thanks so much for stopping by, Lauren, it was good to see you. Yeah, have a good night. I hope you get a good night's sleep. Okay, so we'll leave them to do that. And actually, shall I make a start on blowing up this wall, I think? While those guys are doing that. So yeah, I think we'll do that. So, get all the yellows out. And then the same over here. Don't land on top of the can, you idiot. Yeah, so now we've got a yellow Pikmin that's trying to do something that it can't. There it. Go on. How many is that? I've no idea how many Bomb Rock Pikmin that is. Anyway. It might not be enough, but we'll see. We'll leave the reds there for now. They're all right. I forgot how to do that. It sleeps now. You open certain shotguns, it actually takes longer for them to come back. They take it for a path of the fewest number of hidden checkpoints. They might go out of the way to just hit a few of them. This is common in the Forest Naval. The Forest Naval is a nightmare for trying to get Pikmin to go the way you want them to. Whimsical radar. This important part can detect the locations of the other missing parts. The radar will be added to my monitor. Yes, we have a map now. All right, cool. So that's really good. So the third part. I'm glad I went for that one next. I have now recovered 3 out of 30 parts. If I can just find 2 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. And you can actually see some of the parts you will see appear on the ship. The ship will get more and more complete as the game goes on. Now, this is where the next part is. So I'm going to dismiss my Pikamina. My Picket Minsters, as Lauren hilariously called them. And then we're going to do 3 at a time. So that's 3. And that should be 1 level, and then we should have another 3. So I'll get another one here. Obviously you want to get them to set off as fast as possible. And damn it, yeah, we're 1 short. So we'll do these 2, and then we'll go back and get 1 more. So yeah, we need 1 more Bomb Rock, and then we can get that item. We might even actually have enough Pikmin with us in order that we don't have to go back to the Onion and get another one. We'll see. The problem is that they're under this stupid can, so sometimes they land on top of the can like that and don't pick it up. Okay. I'm terrified of using the whistle near any any Pikmin with Bomb Rocks in case they drop it. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see how many this part... Oh crap, there's another... Okay. Right, die. Okay, cool, you die. How many more of you are there? Any more rumblies? No? Good. It's the extraordinary bolt! I bought this incredible bolt because the salesman told me it is of extraordinary quality that is indiscernible to the average person. Exactly what makes it so extraordinary is a secret. But just look at it. Extraordinary! Yeah, Olimar's a gullible idiot. Although not as much of an idiot as Louis is. If any of you at all have played Pikmin 2 or 3, you know how much of an idiot Louis is. And the more I play those games, the more I just think that Louis is just the worst. Yeah, so we're going to have to continue the running gag of... it doesn't work quite as well in Pikmin 1 as it does in Pikmin 2. In Pikmin 2, anytime we got an item, we'd say what kind of band the name was based on what Olimar named it. And I don't think you can do that with... I mean, Extraordinary Bolt is a good name for a band. Ooh, Nectar Fairy. Alright, we'll deal with that in a second. But look, we've got flower Pikmin growing. Honestly, Louis is, yeah. Darn it, Louis! Oh, come on. Louis is basically responsible for all of Olimar's problems. You know, without getting into spoilers, he is the cause of and the solution to all of life's problems, except he doesn't actually solve anything. You always want to try and get the matching color with the matching Pikmin, because you get more Pikmin if the color matches. Like if I take a red pellet to a yellow Pikmin onion, then you get fewer things for it. Not once have I heard. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it. I'm really bad at remembering the names of the actual creatures, unless it's something obvious like a Bulborb or something like that. But yeah. Okay. So we'll just get all the flower Pikmin swarming this. I'm not sure what else there is to do. I guess we could knock down the wall by the onion at the entrance. So get some yellows for these. At this point, I'm satisfied with what we've done for today. We're already ahead of schedule because you get 30 parts in 30 days, and we're already getting 2 parts in 1 day. So we're already ahead of schedule. And things will speed up because you'll knock down obstacles and then you might just run out of time at the end of the day in order to collect the actual ship part. But you'll still have time to... you can get it the next day and all the walls will still be knocked down and all the bridges will still be built and things like that. So yeah, we should have enough time to do all this. Yeah, we've still got a couple of hours left in the day. But I love the... Oh! You give nectar as well, don't you? You have to land it right on top though, and it's quite fast. It's quite annoying. There we go. Extraordinary bolt! This bolt's bolt holds the kind of value that only a true connoisseur can understand. I have now recovered 4 out of 30 parts. Oh, okay, so this is day 3, and we're on 4 out of 30 parts. We're only 1 more away from being able to go to the next area. Ideally, I'd like to be able to finish this stream with at least 10. I think this is a 3-stream playthrough, and then we'll do the 9-day challenge the weekend after that. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so... They should... Are you going to pick up a bomb rock, or are you just going to stand there? Okay, but now, of course, I'm terrified of... there we go, okay, right. I don't want the bomb rock yellows to pick up the nectar, because then they'll drop their bombs. And that's a red! What are you doing with a red for, Olimar? Oh my god. See, that was a poor design choice in terms of having a can with the lid still on it, and then having you have to throw high Pikmin that will be thrown high up, because they just land on top of the can. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we've got our 3 boomers here. Okay, boomer, come with me, and then it should be quick enough. There we go. And then they're out of the way, and boom. And now tomorrow we can explore that area. So let's pluck everyone here. Make it stand, I got to head out to work. Alright, have a good day, Vixie. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Catnip, how are you? Wow, everyone is tuning in. It's so good to see all of you guys. How's things? How have you been? My personal best is 10 days. My personal best is I never beat it. It's, Pikmin 1 is the only one that has the problem of the limited time. Pikmin 2 is easy to beat but hard to complete because the final trial... And hang on, because we have radar now, we can actually see where our missing Pikmin are, and they're actually... Okay, so those red and yellow dots there are the onions, and the green dots are Pikmin that are still in the ground and haven't been plucked yet. Everyone is here. I have to welcome you back. I mean, you don't have to, but it's wonderful that you have. That's really cool. So we'll get a few... Again, that was like 4 Pikmin that stole a whole lot. You should be able to get like 20 round there. I wonder if I am I wonder if I have been spoiled by playing Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3 since then, because there are a lot of things that are in that game that I don't remember having issues with. We'll pluck all this lot. So we'll have 1 more day in the Forest Naval. We'll get maybe 1 or 2 more parts, and then we'll head to the Forest Naval, which is where we'll get our 3rd and final Pikmin type, and then we're good to just explore the rest of it. Where the hell are my last two? Yeah, sometimes you get a couple of stragglers that try and walk through the wall to be with Olimar. Like, see this red guy here? That's why you need to have the C-stick. Okay, come on, where are you? Why is it not letting me see the radar? Why is it not letting me see the radar? It's not letting me see the radar! I want to see where my Pikmin are! Okay, I'm slightly worried that I might have just killed two Pikmin there. Diddly 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 diddly. I didn't realise that. It doesn't let you look at your radar when it's going 3, 2, 1. You don't get to see where your Pikmin are, which is kind of annoying. The Pikmin did get picked off, yeah. I've been playing this game for 20 years and I still lose Pikmin needlessly. And I still get all emotional whenever they die. Okay, well, so the lift off there, normally if there are Pikmin left behind at the end of the day, you see them getting eaten as you take off, so it seems like we got away with that one. You aren't able to see the radar because you wouldn't have time to save them anyway. Yeah, that's probably right. Anyway, 3 days since impact. I now add yellow Pikmin to my list of discoveries. These creatures can wield bomb rocks, so perhaps I can use them to blast down rock walls and open up new regions. Red and yellow Pikmin, as well as bomb rock carriers, break into squads when dismissed with X or when I grab one for a moment by holding A. What you'll find in a lot of these end-of-day diary entries is that Captain Olimar talks about discovering stuff that actually you've already been using for like a week. It'll get to like day 10 and it'll go, maybe if I use the nectar to make them into flower Pikmin. Maybe if I do that. And it's like, you were doing that on day 3, you idiot. Absolute numpty. Anyway, yep, the lines are just going up and up and up, so we didn't leave any behind. We lost another 3 in battle to those stupid scrub things. But we're already ahead of schedule. There are 27 days remaining and we have 26 parts left. We've got 181 Pikmin in total. You want to try and sort of keep your three Pikmin populations level, although generally speaking you tend to favour reds the most because those are the ones that are the most violent when it comes to going into battle. They are the ones that are most aggressive, that's the word I'm looking for. They are the ones that are the most do the most damage and attack the most when you go into battle with enemies. There's also a rather infamous glitch of people doing a no-death run. It's known as the crushing glitch when some enemies in their death fall onto Pikmin, which forces them through the ground and technically kills them. Oh, that sucks. I've never done a no-death run. I've never been good enough for it. I'm good enough to do the 9-day run, but I've never been good enough to do the deathless. Okay. Down we come. 50-50, let's go. First thing we've got to do, of course, well, first thing we want to do is I want to pick up a flower. Yeah, get a couple of flowers, line them up. Get them getting more nectar. We'll want to just get, having as many flower Pikmin as possible is such a big help. They run so much faster, they carry the items back so much faster, it can literally save hours off your day. It can literally be the difference between night and day in this game. So flower Pikmin are 100% what you want to be focusing on at the start of each day. And annoyingly, sometimes the grass patches just do not yield any nectar whatsoever. But over here, jackpot! Alright, so I'm going to focus on the yellows. We've got loads of flowery reds, we have hardly any flowery yellows, so we're going to just take all of our yellows here, and we're gonna go... Okay, that was a decent amount there, that was a decent amount, I'm happy with that. You should be able to use the D-pad to select what kind of Pikmin. Not in Pikmin 1 on the GameCube. That was a feature that was added in Pikmin 2 on the GameCube, and then was retroactively added into Pikmin 1 on the Wii. Which is why I recommended for Joe, who's playing it for Smashterpieces. He's never played Pikmin 1 before, and I recommended he play the Wii version because the Wii version has so many quality of life improvements compared to the GameCube version. But it doesn't have the C-stick. So here we go, so we're going to have to tackle this lot again. Let's see if we can do it without any casualties. Knock out the little ones by landing on top of them. Okay, sneak around the outside, don't start attacking it. Camera's not helping, there we go. And go! There we go. You just want to just keep chucking it and never give it a chance to get a hold on you. And then because we have 100 Pikmin, this is an extra hard door to knock down, but because we have 100 Pikmin, most of which are flowers, it shouldn't take too long to do. And then there's another one up there, along with another nectar patch. Nice. Yeah, the red Pikmin's additional damage is a thing here. The main thing that the yellow Pikmin do in this is they carry bomb rocks and they can be thrown high. They don't have electricity in this game yet, so the yellow Pikmin are mainly used for carrying bomb rocks. Trying to decide if the Wii version is worth you buying for tonight if you want to stick with the GameCube version. Well, you've got like, what, 90 minutes to make that choice? Honestly, I think the sacrifice of losing the C-stick, I still think it's worth the quality of life improvements if you prefer the pointer controls. It depends how much it is, of course. If it's like $60, then obviously, you know, that's a big question to ask. But if it's like, you know, $19.99 or something like that, it's $20. Well, yeah, I would say go for it. I think plus streaming in HD is easier than trying to stream like original GameCube games. I don't know. It's your choice, my friend. It's completely up to you. If I was playing this game for what is effectively the first time in a long time, then I would probably say Wii version is better in terms of the just in terms of quality of life. It's just if I was trying to do the 9-day challenge on the Wii version, I'd have to completely relearn how I've been playing the game for the last 20 years. So that's why I'm playing this version. Okay, so there's another part in the background there, that flashing rocket ship thing. So there's actually a hole there as well. Why is there a hole here? Is that a shortcut? Oh my god, that's a shortcut. I didn't even see that. Of course, trying to fit 100 Pikmin through that tiny shortcut is okay. I'm going to move this guy out of the way, just so we can get a full approach to this big guy. I have a hack Wii U. Oh right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I forgot about that. Not sure quality life improvements are big enough to be worth $20 in the run. Well, see how you get on. But I do warn you that the bomb rocks are a lot less reliable in the GameCube version compared to the Wii version. See how you feel. Okay, come on. Incoming death from above! There we go, okay, good. Still got all 100? Still got all 100 somewhere. We've got blue flowers there, that's an indication of what's to come. Oh, I forgot about you. Cool, managed to get you without being in too much danger. Now, I think this is a dead end here. I think there's much we can do. Oh, but there's another ship part up there, but I think, yeah, so I think we, oh, we might be able to get that without the water. Hang on, okay, I'll have a think about that. But for now, let's just get all of these guys back to the onion. Let's have a look at what our stats are. So we've got, yeah, I forgot, I didn't mean to do that. What am I looking for? They don't have a... Do they not have a breakdown of... Right, so, okay, so I've got 104 red Pikmin, and I'm still missing enough yellow Pikmin. Okay, ideally, you want to have 100 of each. So we'll keep sending yellows back with the actual creatures to farm. And we'll take this... You're good with 17 to picking up one of the legends and sneak around the ball bob. Yeah, that's my plan. We'll just let's clear up this area first, shall we? That should be enough. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we'll get the yellows to take back the big guy. Okay, cool. I've found the Nova Blaster! This emits a dazzling burst of light capable of destroying almost anything. I'm not exactly sure about this, but the promotional brochure claims that its blast can travel in the currents of space-time, smashing through stars and into the rifts of space. That's a dangerous weapon. That's basically a space nuke. It can travel in the currents of space-time. So he's got a time-traveling nuke on his spaceship. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that Olimar can be trusted. Yeah, it's something that Doctor Who would have a certain have certain complaints about, wouldn't it? You can tell I'm not a Doctor Who fan because I just called him Doctor Who, and also the fact that I just misgendered her. Oh god, it would have been a way better final smash. Yeah. Unfortunately, you never get to see him use it. It's just basically an ornament. Like a door under troubled water. I was about to say, oh look, it's a bridge underwater, but it's not. It's a door, and I'm an idiot. Or a gate. I guess it's a gate, technically. Okay, so I'm basically wasting my time sort of doing this while we're getting Come on. Okay. There we go. So now we can go to the next area at the end of the day. Nova Blaster! This is a weapon of such incredible destructive force that it can blast stars into tiny pieces. That is a weapon of mass destruction. Why is that on your ship? Like, what does Olimar do for a living? I've never noticed that before. I mean, I knew it was a gun, but I didn't actually think about it. It's a weapon of such incredible destructive force that it can blast stars into tiny pieces, and you just let it get... First of all, with a weapon like that, how did you not see the asteroid coming that brought you down onto this planet? And secondly, why did you not use the gun to blast the asteroid into tiny pieces? Honestly, why didn't you just Alderaan the thing? Oh my god. He has a space nuke. He's basically a space trucker. Why do you have a star nuker? Yeah. It's like, we're going to be... You're going to be a delivery boy. This is like a Futurama. If Professor Farnsworth went, good news, everyone! You're going to be my delivery boy. So here is a nuclear weapon. Honestly... It's like giving a paperboy on a bicycle an M16. Is he an American then? Oh, catnip. You can't hold a position with a nuke. Sending a time-traveling nuke after pirates is the Nintendo way. That, oh... That's a quote right there, although, again, it's... We'll put that into the Nintendo World Report quote bank when Matt starts the Pikmin stream, because sending a time-traveling nuke after pirates is the Nintendo way. Yes, absolutely is. We're going to have so many yellows after this. I'm really taking my time. I'm sort of doing this at a really leisurely pace. I should really start sort of learning to pick up the pace a bit, because when it comes to the 9-day challenge, it's going to be all systems go. Okay, so that's noon right there. Okay. That's all of them. Cool. Oh no, there's one more. Okay. Come on. So now I've got 100 Pikmin. Let's see how much damage I can do in the half day that I have left. Do I still have them all with me? Any stragglers? There's one straggler. Bloody leaf Pikmin. This game does get very classist after a while, because you spend all your time waiting for the lower ranked members of your party to catch up, and you're like, oh, Bloody leaf Pikmin. Honestly, leaf Pikmin are the worst. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, no. Get out of that grass. Get out of that grass. I'm gonna chuck you all up here for now. Trying to use my index finger to move the analog stick, while I use my left thumb to move the C stick, while I use my right thumb to hammer the A button. But we made it. Okay, cool. Right. Let's go around and get them now. I feel like I wait for the Pikmin that trip more often. Oh yeah, for any Super Smash Bros. Brawl fans out there, tripping is in this game. Oh yeah, no, the fast throw trick I feel like is essential if you want to be a decent Pikmin speedrunner. I mean, I'm not a Pikmin speedrunner. I do the 9-day challenge and that's it. But when I say do the 9-day challenge, I haven't done it in 15 years. But you know, apart from all those hundreds of caveats, can I get up here? Can I get up here? Do I have to walk up this log? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. I think you can break open these little things here. I think there's salt deposits or something that they might do. So we've got 100. We've got all 100 here. Okay, let's destroy our little friend here, who is going to die in his sleep, like all people want to die. Except we wake him up and just basically hump him to death from behind. There we go. So let's get another one. What's this? It's the shock absorber! This apparatus counteracts the shaking and swaying that normally occurs during flight. It's smooth sailing with this in place. Usually. Okay. Is that 46? But actually, you know what? Where are my reds? It's a yellow. Okay. I think those are... Yeah, so they'll break open those sort of... I don't know if it's like salt deposits or ore or something, but they'll break that open for more nectar. And I'm going to use the red flower Pikmin to carry this if I can. If I have enough of them. I think I just threw... oh no, I still had a few flower Pikmin there. But yeah, a few more of the flowers. And then there's grass over here, isn't there? I can't quite see it on my screen, but I believe there's grass over here, so we'll send a few... Oh no, did they already take care of the grass? I guess they already took care of the grass. Okay, so we'll get a few more flowers out of this bit of nectar here. It's all about the flowers. Because I'm very classist in my Pikmin travels. I only like the highest ranked members of society. How are we doing? We've got 85 reds now, and we've got... Oh no, hang on. We've got 25 reds with Olimar. We've got 30 reds. Oh screw it. Just get the thing back. We can figure out the numbers later. As long as there aren't any more in the field. So I think... Right now, we've done pretty much all we can in the Forest of Hope without getting the blue Pikmin. Oh, hey! Dan, sorry. Hello. I haven't even noticed. Will he ever notice that? I'm so sorry, guys. Hello, thank you so much for the raid. Oh, wow. Yes, I'm back. It's the Space Pirates, ready the Nova last time. Genetic pirate raid message. Yeah. So how are we all doing, guys? It's good to see you again. I haven't been online for a month. I've been having a summer holiday. Yeah, sorry, I get absorbed in the game and don't look at chat for a while. Sorry. Hope you're all well. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Meredith. Hello, hello, Sensei. Hello, Sensei is a pirate. You've only just got. Well, he should download his movies legally. Bloody pirates. We were just talking because we're playing Pikmin so my friends do a podcast called Smashterpieces. If you use the I mean, you guys know Smashterpieces. I've talked about it before, but if you use the podcast command, I was on the last episode because I am a guest on the latest episode of it, and the game that they're playing this time is Pikmin. So we're playing Pikmin 1, and Captain Olimar here is trying to repair his spaceship by he's crash landed on Earth, and now he's using these little plant creatures called Pikmin to help him find his pieces of his spaceship all across the land. And we just discovered that one of the things that he has in his spaceship is a gun that can destroy stars and can travel through time. It's a gun that is so powerful it can break the space-time continuum. And we've been talking about how Nintendo put this in the game so that Olimar could capture space pirates. So the fact that you've come in talking about pirates is quite funny. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, Dan. It's good to have you guys back. One of these days, I will notice a raid as it's coming. One of these days, I will be able to get capture software that allows me to have my computer audio coming through my headphones at the same time. But yeah, Picket Minsters is what they're calling them now. Wow, Luigi's Mansion looks different from how I remember it. Yeah, so the way that Smashterpieces episodes work is that they talk about whatever game they've just played, and then they have a short segment at the end of the episode where they talk about the next game that they're doing. Because it's a gauntlet. They're playing one game. We're playing and beating one game for every character in Super Smash Bros. So they talk about the game they've just played, and then they talk about the next game in the list. And Pikmin is the next game in the list. So the last 25 or so minutes of the Luigi's Mansion episode, they started talking about Pikmin, and I am the guest for that episode. So I was on that episode. And I'm going to be on the next one as well once we finish this. But yeah, so I'm working my way through Pikmin. We've started this. This will be happening for most of the month of August, I think. Not every night, of course. It'll be happening maybe once or twice a week. I have got other things happening. I'm going to be playing the legendary Shadow the Hedgehog on Sunday night. We're going to be having a look at how that's aged in the last 15 years. And we're also going to be continuing Sonic Unleashed tomorrow night. I need to really finish that. And let's try and get this Nectar Fairy. Come on, Nectar Fairy. Give me all your nectar. Give me all of your nectar. Okay, so it's an awesome podcast. The guys are so they know a lot of stuff. Hang on. I'm the worst at plugging things. I absolutely am. They are really funny, really entertaining. They're really knowledgeable, and it's just a fun little challenge, just to sort of appreciate just how insane the roster of Super Smash Bros. Is. So they're doing it chronologically, and they started with Duck Hunt. This was the summer of 2018 they started. It's now 3 years later. They have got into the GameCube era, and this is game number 37 or 38 on their list, something like that. And they're going to keep going for, well, I mean, goodness knows how many years it takes for them to beat all 90 games. And there are some long games on that list. You're talking Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, Persona 5. They've already done Final Fantasy 7. That took them several months. There are some long games up ahead. 7 Fire Emblem games. You know, it's going to be a long time, but it's going to be a fantastic time. It already has been. It's been such a good ride. Nectar Fairy is actually called a Honey Wisp. Yes, I will learn these at some point. So yeah, I think we've pretty much done all we can for today. The only other thing I can think of is to build that bridge that's out into that pond. But there's no point doing that yet because we don't have any blue Pikmin which can breathe underwater and can go and build the other half of the bridge, which is on the other side. You can see it over there. So, and I think if you go away from the level for too long, the bridges actually unbuild themselves, which is kind of counterintuitive. But yeah, so this is our little army of Pikmin here. These are all sort of little plant people. They are the cutest things. Well, I think they're cute. The red Pikmin are fireproof and very good at fighting. The yellow Pikmin are very good at reaching high places with. They're electricity proof and they can carry explosives. And then later on we will get the blue Pikmin who are waterproof and can and don't drown. And the way that Pikmin works is that you have a limited number of days in which to beat the game. You have 30 in-game days total. Each day lasts about 13 to 15 minutes. And you have to try and collect all your ship parts and get everything done and get back to your ship before the end of the day with all of your Pikmin intact. So we're just going to... I think we're done for now, so we're just going to set it out and just wait for the countdown to happen. Either that or I can actually put all my Pikmin away and just end the day. I think we'll do that. How many reds have we got now? We've got 120. That's a decent amount. They don't unbuild themselves. The sheer grubs. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. It's a good thing you're here, Autistic Game Guy. I honestly... I've played this game so much, but I've never actually sort of learned that much about it. So, yeah, I'm learning a lot tonight, which is awesome. Next, unless you want to sequence break that one box, I don't really think it's worth it because there's a lot of creatures in the way, and we were into our like last hour or two. Just not have a potato of a computer. That's true, but that would involve me having having any sort of money whatsoever. So we've got no Pikmin left in the field, so I'm actually just gonna go to sunset, save ourselves like 5 seconds. But yeah, it's good fun. So we're going to be playing until about 11:30, and then the actual host of Smashterpieces, I think it's Matt who's playing tonight. I think Joe's playing at the weekend. Will be starting Pikmin for the first time around then. So we're going to go and raid them and watch them have an experience with it. So yeah, ideally I want to finish the stream tonight with at least 10 pieces. I want to try and finish this game in 3 streams if I can. And then one of the things that I'm going to be doing after that, I'm going to be setting myself a challenge for Pikmin that I have not done since I was a teenager in this game, which is I'm going to be trying to do the 9-day challenge, which is trying to get the game completed 100% in 9 in-game days, which means playing as optimally as possible, getting like 4 or 5 ship parts a day, which is really ambitious. I have done it before, and it might take me quite a while, so that'll be interesting. You've seen a lot more of those since 3 Deluxe came out. Yeah, so the presenter who's playing tonight, Matt, they have played the game before, but it was a long time ago, so they're playing it basically for the first time as an adult. The speedrun is 6 days, but when I did it as a kid, which is the one I'm going to be trying to replicate, is 9 days. Basically the glitchless speedrun, if you will. Because that was the classic one when I was growing up, was the 9 days challenge, so that's the one I'm going to be doing. But yeah, so Matt tonight is going to be playing the game for the first time as an adult, so the first time in like 20 years, so effectively a first time playthrough. And Joe, who is going to be playing on Saturday, he is playing it for the first time ever. He has never played Pikmin before, so that's going to be interesting. I've played this game a lot, so I know out of the 3 of us that are playing it, I probably have the most experience with it. I mean, I definitely have the most experience with it, but yeah. So we've now got 256 Pikmin. We've got more yellows than reds now, which is good. So we've got decent amount. 24 parts remaining and 26 days to do it. Okay, let's do it. A metaphorical challenge run where you really haul ass and finish in 9 days was quite the thing. Yeah. So now we go to the Forest Naval, which I think has the best music out of the I'll be bringing my encyclopedic or piclopedic knowledge of the series. Awesome. Right. So, Forest Naval, I think, is my favourite area of the game. I love the music in it. I love the sort of acoustic guitars, the sort of bow, 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 bow of the music. However, it is the most confusing in terms of the layout and in terms of trying to figure out which way your Pikmin will carry something. So it's easy to lose Pikmin here if they walk through an area you weren't expecting them to walk through, because it's all very centralized, this area. There are 9 ship parts here, I think that is? Yeah, 9, okay. So let's have a look at this, and we will find our 3rd and final Pikmin type. Because this is the first game that only has 3 types in this. Later games have 5 types. That's alright, Dr. Dead. Everyone has their different strengths. You've been a walking encyclopedia for a couple of games now, so don't worry if you if you want to take a step back. That's alright. So I think we need to get I'm not going to take out the maximum amount. I think I'll take out 30 of each, because obviously there are going to be blue Pikmin in here that we have to get. So I want to save us a bit of time. In fact, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to take out 45 because I'm going to take out 45 of each because we're going to do the same thing that we did with the yellow Pikmin, where we're going to make sure that we have 100 Pikmin in the field so that we can harvest more blues without having to pluck them all. they'll just go straight into the onion and we can use them another time. So we'll start by knocking down this wall, why not? 90 Pikmin, that shouldn't take too long, and while we're doing that I can sort of survey the surroundings. So I believe the blue onion is in one of those pools down there. Oh, there it is, I can see it. It's in that distant one over there, so yeah. Olimar names these areas himself, and the Forest Naval here was named because it is a clearing in the forest that reminds him of belly buttons. Yeah. Did I miss that dialogue? I feel like I missed that. Yes, that's 2 already. But yeah, let's do that bending. I missed it. Oh, damn it. Okay. Well, the gang in the other Smashterpieces streams will, you'll see it then. Okay, so crack open this. We'll get our last few leaves at the back there. Get them flowerized. Come on, guys, work hard, work faster, work faster. You're not finding no nectar at all, really? Wow, you're useless. There you go. Right, was that so hard? This level is also notorious for having Pikmin fall down ledges and then finding, like this yellow guy down here, stuck down a ledge. Sometimes it's very difficult. But there's the blue onion. So actually, we'll go straight to the blue onion. Why not? Maybe I shouldn't have brought out 90 Pikmin. Maybe that was a bad move. Just dismiss them for now. No. We need those blue pellets, you idiots. Honestly, having 100 creatures that have a mind of their own is a huge technological achievement for the GameCube, but it also means that you've got 100 creatures that you have to try and stop them doing whatever the hell they want. Anyway, here we go. This is the onion. This is where all the satirical news in the Pikmin world comes from. So yeah, so the Pikmin are little plant creatures that are born of seeds. And then you just have to wait for them to grow. Wake up, come on. There you go. And here we go. This is the third and final type. This is the blue Pikmin. So, the red Pikmin have noses. The yellow Pikmin have ears. And the blue Pikmin have mouths. And I've decided that for this playthrough that Captain Olimar is extremely Scottish. So, here we go. It is a Pikmin of yet another colour. Near this one's cheeks is what appears to be a set of gills. This trait suggests to me that this blue type of Pikmin can enter the water without any trouble whatsoever. There's only one way to find out. I mean, you kind of already are finding out because it's literally standing underwater right now and just gaping. It's just gazing at you with its massive eyes. Anyway, so now we've just got to farm as many blue Pikmin as we can. Olimar also teaches it Shujin. Yes, he does. That's what he also does when he's not a part-time space trucker and also part-time nuclear weapons dealer. He also teaches at a Japanese high school. Scottish space trucker, yeah, Scottish space trucker and nuclear weapons dealer Captain Olimar. Honestly, I cannot believe that that's actually in the game. The fact that he is carrying a gun on his ship that can destroy stars. Like, how is this guy... I mean, maybe the planet that he comes from, Hokate, maybe they are like the sort of the galactic empire of the Pikmin universe, and maybe he's just sort of part of this all-conquering sort of... It's like they've basically got... Captain Olimar's dolphin is the Death Star. And it's like, if you do what we say, or we'll send... oh, what the... Oh, no, you don't, you stupid thing. This guy... So... We're gonna get this guy... This guy here, I think he's a Pillbug, I think his name is. He steals... he steals the... He steals the pellets. I have... Yeah, no, I know there's 100 Pikmin in the field. You've said that before. Also, no, we don't want the blue ones to have... No, okay, okay, we're going to leave him. I think he has a spaceship part. I think he swallows a spaceship part, so we want to try and kill him if we can. Unfortunately, I'm just chucking yellows everywhere, not doing very much. So we'll let him have his food. We'll let him have his food. For now. Oh, there's a gear up there, so there's another ship part on top of there. We'll deal with that in a sec. But for now... I just want to bonk him on the head a few times. Stop the yellows from... No, I'm gonna... My reds are drowning. Okay, see, this is what I mean. You don't know where the yellows are going to go, so you've got to watch them. Okay, so don't want them to end up in the... Okay, where's the blue? Come on, blue. Blue, there we go, right. Apologies, I was still... Oh, no worries, Dan. I just thank you for the raid. Bread Bug, thank you. God, I'm terrible with names, I'm so sorry. This guy's 2 centimeters tall. Yeah, he's 2 cent... Hey, what the... No, my yellows are drowning, my yellows are drowning! Get out there, you idiots! Come on. This is what I mean, like, how did that guy end up in the water? He was standing at the edge. Right. So here comes the bread bug again. So I'm pretty sure if we just we'll just walk into this raining fire of Pikmin. Oh, die. Yeah, there we go. We've got a flotation device. Thank goodness! My space float! This float is an absolute necessity for any pilot who lacks skill at swimming in space. Swimming in space? So now we're going to have to watch out. Oh god, there's more of these things. Okay, let's just kill them. Oh wow, okay, we lost a couple there. So now we might as well try and get these back. I've no idea where they'll take the ship parts. We have to be careful with that. But luckily we've got an army, so we can sort of follow where they'll go. Except my stupid reds keep falling down the ledge. This is definitely a case where... Can I sneak up here? No, I can't. This is definitely a case where I'm going to have to get to the end of the day and spend quite a while sort of making sure that... making sure that I haven't left any Pikmin in weird places where they're going to get eaten. I think they should be alright. Just take a little walk around here, make sure there's not any scrubs or anything like that are going to eat them. No, I think they should be alright. It's a long way round, but they should be okay. Yeah, so that's just a little shortcut. That's a little geezer. We'll get nectar another time. Come on. So yeah, I'm just sort of getting the lay of the land for this this bit right here. We'll get the nectar ferry. Get a few flowery blues. That's good. There we go. Shearwigs and shearbugs are a bit bugged. If they have a Pikmin in their mouth, they're invincible until the Pikmin dies. Wow. Okay. That yeah, that is kind of screwed. But we'll get a second ship part while we're here. Come on, guys, get up. There we go, right. Just standing behind the ledge. What's wrong with you? Let's go get yellow. Up you go. Oh, right, okay, I can't chuck them up there. I have to see the stick. I have to build the bridge. That's what I have to do. Right. There we go, we've got a ship part already. Space float! An excellent swimmer like me has no need for something like this, but my motto is always be prepared. Really, it's just for emergencies. I have now recovered 7 out of 30 parts. If I can just find just 5 more. Okay. Well, now we have the blue Pikmin. We could actually just go back and clear out the Forest of Hope. But I feel like we should wait a couple of days because the enemies are going to respawn anyway, so we might as well just stick around in the Forest Naval, just kill a few things. But yeah, let's get this one here, and then that'll be 2 done. Come on, faster guys, faster! We'll have to prep next week, Paul. Try not to kill too many Pikmin. Alright, thanks very much for the raid, Dan. Really appreciate it. It's good to be chatting to you again, mate. I've found the automatic gear! This thing chugs right along at its own pace. It makes piloting much easier, giving me time to concentrate on the finer points of space travel, like threatening every other planet in the solar system with nukes. Oh wow, so they actually just fell off. Okay. Okay. I've got blues, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, you're gonna farm for... No, 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 you idiots! Stop helping! You're gonna drown! Oh, okay. Blues. No, 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 no. Oh my god, they're... You have to dismiss the Pikmin in areas where they're not going to suddenly go, I can do that! They're too helpful for their own good. There we go. Right. 1, 2, 3... Nope. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, so those are yellow, but we're going to give them to the blues. So, 2 blues, 1, and 1. Okay, I'm going to get this yellow because otherwise they're going to help and they're going to carry the... They're going to carry them and just drown. In fact, you know what? You can have that one. Go on, give you something to do. There we go. 10 o'clock, so we've got an hour and a half left. We might even get to 15 parts if things go really well. Automatic gear. It has thin cracks running through it. I tried to fill them with dirt. I hope it'll be alright. I've now recovered 8 out of 30 parts. Okay, you're an idiot, so go there, pick up that thing and take it, and hopefully that will distract those two. And we can get a few more. We've got 100 in the field, okay, so they should just... Those are the only 2? There's another part over there. I'm not entirely sure how you get... Was that another one? No, that's it. Oh, that's bomb rocks, okay. Okay. We've got 1/4 of a day left. The first day in a new area is always a little slow because you're just spending the time trying to figure out what to do, get the easy stuff out of the way first. So yeah, when you get to the end of the day like this, it's probably best just to spend a bit of time leveling up. Although actually no, we can get started on this ramp. That'll save a bit of time. Another nectar fairy. I know they're called honey wisp, but nectar fairy is what they're known as from now on. That is canon. Might as well get you guys started on that as well. See, there's so many little things that you can be doing, sort of little... They're non-essential, but they just help. And there's also a little shortcut so I can get up here, which is really good. Those stone walls really do help with the area's carry route. Yeah, they do. It's just getting the bomb rocks. I'm not entirely sure where the closest bomb rocks are. I'm sure we'll find them at some point. So I've got a few blues. Wow, that was 2 Pikmin. 2 Pikmin! Okay, let's help out with this. Many hands make shite work. Let's have a look. Have we got any others that are just abandoned anywhere? Yeah, we've got the stick lot. But I think that's it. aren't any more around the blue onion, so... So we have to be careful down here. These are the fiery blowhogs down here. These are fire breathers. So hopefully they don't take too much interest in our little friends here. Because if they get... Yeah, okay. So even though... Yeah. Okay, we'll leave them for now. In fact, you know, do we have any... How many reds do we have? Because all they can do is breathe fire. So we'll leave them to do that. And we'll take the blues and the yellows somewhere a little safer. We'll give the blues more pellets to farm, because if they take them to farm more blues, then at the end of the day, they will be under the onion. And when they're under the onion, they'll just get rescued with the rest of everyone. So, got a new haircut on holiday. You got I saw an apprenticeship. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I got a haircut today too, so that'd be really awesome. Yeah, I hope you get that, Rose. You should go for it. Absolutely go for it. Now the question is, will I think those pellets are too far away from the blue onion for them to be of any actual use. I think it might take far too long for them to get there, and I think I might just end up losing them halfway. So I think, yeah, because you can hear the music fading out now. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got the two blues going to the onion. We've got the yellows and the reds working on the ramp. So I think we've done all right today. We've done all right. We've cleared a few ramps. We've got the blue Pikmin. We've got 2 ship parts. Oh, that, yeah. Sometimes you get Pikmin that get stuck under the ramp here, which is a really annoying thing. Sometimes they just... You finished? You have finished. Okay. Let's get all you back. But it's really cool because in the final hour before sunset, the music completely changes. Like, the acoustic guitar is completely gone from the Forest Naval soundtrack. You were pinged, so you're self-isolating until Saturday. Oh, that sucks, man. Oh well, you only have to self-isolate if you're double vaxxed. You only have to self-isolate for like another week or so, and then after that, if you're double vaccinated, you don't have to self-isolate, which is good. I think it's only if you test positive after that. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've just got the 2... Oh, by the way, the stars on the map are ship parts. So there are three ship parts down there. There's another one in the water there, another one up the top there, and then that one. These 2 here are in big arena areas. Those are bosses. We'll deal with those in a wee while, but we need to get a bit more of an army first. So I think we're pretty much done here. I think we'll just end the day. And that's day 5. So by this point, in the 9-day challenge, I would already have something like 17 to 20 ship parts. And now I've got, I think, 7? So yeah, we'd really need to pick up the pace. Okay. Those frogs are annoying as hell. We'll meet those frogs in a bit. 5 days since impact. Deep in the cave I discovered in the forest, I encountered blue Pikmin. These blue fellas have something resembling gills on their cheeks, and they appear to be amphibious, surviving both in water and on land. The wonders of nature never cease to stun me, even in this alien land, which I'm probably going to nuke after I'm finished here. But there's our blue line. So yeah, so we've now got 300 Pikmin. We've lost 12. Wait, total, no, we've got 288 Pikmin. We've 300 is the number that we've grown in total across the whole game. 27 blues isn't bad. I've got 22 parts remaining. We've got 25 days to find them. So we're going to Savvy Megami. So yeah, so we've got 8 parts. We've got 2 on the Forest Naval on that day. So I could go back to the Forest of Hope and get the last 3, and then that would be done. Tempted to do that. But I think I need to grow more blues first. I suppose I could do that in... no, because one of the things I need to do is knock down a gate or knock down a wall that's in water, and you can only use blues for that. So I need to have at least 100 before I do that. So yeah, let's go back here. We won't go back to the Forest of Hope until we have at least 100 of every colour. I've only got 27 so far. See, there's a bit of strategy that goes into all this. The Forest Naval. Captain Olimar is actually writing a book about his experiences in the Forest Naval. He's going to call it the Forest Novel. Yes, I can hear your silence. That is the correct response. I'm going to take out 30 of each. Okay, so first thing to do, of course, is nectarize. I mean, sure, that'll keep you distracted. Just destroy the flowers before they actually grow. Come on, give me some nectar. There's some grass around here too, as well, isn't there? Yeah, there we go. Okay, get a few flowers like that. You want to send the flowers to collect the nectar, because then they're not going to immediately drink it as soon as they find it. There's a bit. Okay, so let's get all of our blues. All of our blues, by the way, a very famous jazz musician. $27 blues. And then let's get them drinking this too. So now all of our blues are flower blues. And we'll leave that nectar there because we will inevitably have some more to get later. So, where to begin? Let's have a zoom out. So yeah, there's that big arena in there. I think, is that BD Longlegs in there? We'll soon find out, I suppose. Oh, you have to build a stick again. That's annoying. Not that I think it matters too much. Get them having a go with those. That bits of grass in there. So here is where I'm just going to take the reds and I'm just going to kill a few of these fiery ones, and then we can have a go in this water, I think. So Olimar does take damage from the fire, so I have to be very careful. Like that. That was 1/4 of my health. Cool. So that's one. So these will all serve as good blue farming. Now that's an interesting thing up there. You see that yellow flower up there? You can throw other coloured Pikmin into that flower and they will come out as yellow Pikmin. Unfortunately, they do get demoted as well. They become leaves as well. But if you want to get any yellows, you can use that flower rather than finding any pellets or anything like that. Now see that bloody frog? See that actually, oh, I'm going to get away from that. Because that frog will crush you, and that blowhog was pointing towards the ocean. And if he chucks all of your red Pikmin into the water, you ain't getting them back. Okay, so we'll take the blues. I'm gonna try and hopefully he doesn't see us. Good, okay. What are you doing taking it that way, you munter? Alright. No, 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 you're taking it right past an enemy, you moron. Oh my god. Okay, we'll have to kill them as well. Yeah, you lot can take these. Frog is a wollywog, yeah. That's a name that doesn't go down as well in the UK, or at least it's very close to something that is no longer socially accepted in the UK, shall we say? No, 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 no! Don't help! Don't help! I know you want to help, but honestly. Okay, I really hope that actually... I've just realised that... I want to check something. No blues in the onions. Okay. Because the other coloured Pikmin, I've just realised, are going to be helping the blues, and at that point, if you've got 7 blues that are carrying an item, and all of a sudden, like 8 reds take over, then the reds will just drag it to their onion, and you won't get any blues. Thankfully, it seems like they're all going towards the blues, and we'll take that pellet as well. I'm not too worried about getting any ship parts on this occasion. I just want to get more blues. It was really aimed to wally hop. Oh right, okay. Thank you, Piclopedia in the chat. You'd think I'd know this stuff. I can't. I call myself a fan of this series. I call myself a big fan of this series, and yeah, it's not great, is it? Pikmin streamer doesn't know anything about the game he's talking about. It's alright, it's not like I'm about to do a podcast talking about it or anything like that. Wow, they take it a long way. I'm also just realising I've got a lot of budded reds all of a sudden. Is that something that the blowhog does, where it demotes your Pikmin when it throws it? Doesn't feel like it'd be something it does. Am I just? Probably. There's another fan of Pikmin that was discovered that you could beat a fiery blowhog with a large group of blues, then lost most of them. And no, it's not me. Oh, I have suffered hubris in this game many, many times. I have had a lot of comeuppance. It's when you get that sound, like when the frog lands on like 50 Pikmin at once, and you just hear that sort of slam. Hey Alex, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm still picking men, yeah. Yep, this is basically Nintendo's version of Grinder right here. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get rid of all my yellows, I think, because I'm not going to use them very much. The blowhog, when it throws, it does affect their status. Wow, okay, I didn't realise that. So yeah, okay, that's quite bad. Right. I'm going to send all the yellows back for now. On the plus side, I can put all the reds back into the onion, and out will come the highest ranked ones. So I'm going to put all these back for now. Oh, that's right, I've got the nectar. So yeah. Good to see you good. So I've got... Right, okay. I'll take out 30... No, I'll take out 40 reds. Fiery blowhog cannot kill a red Pikmin without some kind of stage hazard. Yeah, so there have been a couple of times where I was going to... Oh, so they're all just buds. Okay, right, that's fine. We'll deal with that. I won't use the nectar until we're done then. There's a chance a Pikmin will lose their flowers. They go down to bud, then leaf in 1, straight to leaf in 2, and they can't be demoted in 3. Yeah. Air enemies can blow flower petals. Yeah, yeah. So the I know that the floating sort of giant balloon enemy can knock them off. But yeah, why did I bring the blues down here? That's just asking for trouble. All right, that bloody frog. Got to stay away from that bloody frog. All right, fine if you want to. No, not the buds. No, you'll just drink all the nectar yourself.
You're back.
Honestly, sometimes it's like herding cats. Oh, Rob, thank you very much for the resub, mate. 18 months, jeez. Anything better to do with your... Fireblow, yeah. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the resub, mate. Okay, I've got a couple of flowers. Let's give the guy a hand. Come on. Okay. Shall I just kill them all now? Can I swarm it? I can swarm it. Ah, so not all... Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see all the petals disappearing from the flowers. That's another one dead. So basically you want to attack them with leaf Pikmin. That's what we're learning. Don't chuck him in the water. Don't chuck him in the water. You didn't chuck him in the water. Just keep at it. Keep at it. But you can already see that because they're leaf Pikmin and bud Pikmin now, it's taken a lot longer for them to kill the enemy than it would have before. But, okay, that was good. He turned towards the water there. So if he chucked them off then, that would have been it. Okay, so I've got a few flowers back there. It's not too bad. So basically I'm just going to spend today sort of... we need to kill this frog. That's the main thing that we need to do. We need to kill that blowhog as well. Okay, so we need to somehow lure... I've just flowered them as well, and this guy's going to deflower them. Yeah, okay, so I think one way to do it is to swarm him. Yeah, you hear that sound, that slam. There we go. Okay, the frog is dead, good. I'm down half health, good god. Gotta be quick, gotta be quick. Die. The damage to my spacesuit is approaching its limits. The safest course of action would be to return to the dolphin at once and repair my suit. To do so, I need only to stand in front of the dolphin and press A. Oh god. Okay. That's alright, he's dead. They're all dead. Get them to take all that back. All the blues, all the blues. Okay, where are you taking it all? Is that all the dead stuff? No, there's the stuff over here. Okay. I've got 1/4 of the day left. It's probably not enough time to get the ship part that's in there. Actually, yeah, it's not, because there are 2 more frogs we need to take care of. But we've cleared the beach, which is good. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll be able to get that ship part in the water. Sometimes getting a ship part on its own is like a 2 or 3 day job. And actually, you guys are going a long way around, so we're not going to bother with that. You just help them out, get that done faster. Now I'm going to heal before I do anything else. Won't the frog respawn? The frog respawns after 2 or 3 days. Enemies don't respawn on the day immediately after you kill them. I think it takes 2 or 3 days for them to do it. I have recovered 8 out of 30. Yeah, okay. So I've now healed, so there we go. So I'm not entirely sure what more I can really do today. Just keep farming blues, I think. Oh! Nectar Fairy! Nectar Fairy! Don't drink it all! Okay, that was... well, we got some nectar, but two of them drank it. Oh, but thankfully there's another one! Hello, Nectar Fairy. Thank you. keep that there for the minute. Okay, we should actually have enough time to get that 5 down there. But yeah, we'll do that. Oh yeah, they'll get there back. They'll get that back in time. A ship part. Yeah, a part of a spaceship. Okay, and then we've got a couple here as well we can have a crack at. At this point, I'm just making as many blues as I can, because tomorrow we're going to have to go into the water and kill those frogs, and you want to have basically a whole army. Stupid guy, how'd you end up down there? It does sound like you're saying something else. Well, yeah. I mean, they're definitely not that thing that you think I'm saying, because one of them is a nuke that can destroy stars. So, you know... I just love the Pikmin's little voices. And right at the start of the game, when you reboot the game, the little Nintendo logo comes up, and you just get the cutest little Pikmin just yelling, "Pikmin! Pikmin!" There we go. That's kind of what they sound like. It's almost sundown. All right, fine. We've still got all of, we've still got all of our reds on the beach. Okay, maybe I'll go and get them out, shall I? We're gonna lose our nectar, but you know, I can't just leave all of my reds on the beach here. Rescue mission! It's alright, lads. You're fine. That's really all... Are those all the red flowers that I've got left? It's pathetic. Alright, you know what? The reds can have this. You can have this lot. Okay, that was about 7. That's not great. Yeah, I know. Doing my best, they keep tripping over. Come on, hurry up, you stupid. The problem with trying to give them nectar now is that they no longer... Oh, screw it. Yeah, I think the blues should be alright. 3. The blues are within range of the onion. And I can't check my radar anyway. Right, okay. Right before the end of it, I had all 100 in my party. Just to be safe. Diddly 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 diddly. I love this game. I love this game so much. Diddly 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 bum 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 bum. Just have a look at messages. There's that frog again. We'll get you next time. So yeah, any day where you don't get a single ship part is always a little bit... Oh yeah, so this is one of the entries that they have just to fill in if you don't make any progress or anything like that, where Captain Olimar is talking about stuff that he's just discovered that actually happened like 5 days ago. 6 days since impact. I have seen that at times. The leaf atop a Pikmin's head will grow into a purple bud and then a purple flower. It appears that if I do not pick the Pikmin sprouts, they gradually bloom over time. Fascinating! This melding of plant and animal traits is surely unique in the natural world. I don't know, have you ever seen a pseudo-wudo? I have found the increased swiftness of the flower Pikmin to be of tremendous benefit. Also, my diligent observation has recorded instances in which purple flower Pikmin, lost in yellow battle, have left green seeds behind. This is why on days after fierce battles, I occasionally find new green sprouts growing. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's like a little battlefield. Flower Pikmin lost in battle have left seeds behind. So yeah, sometimes it's kind of like, you know, all those World War I fields in Belgium where it's now got poppy fields. It's kind of like that. You go back to a site of an old Pikmin battle and you'll find fresh sprouts growing. It's kind of, it's almost wholesome in a way, you know. But only in Pikmin 1, yeah. They took it away from Pikmin 2 for some reason. So we've got 93 blues, 118 reds, and 139 yellows. We need to watch our stock of reds because they are the most useful in the game. A little bit like a phoenix, yeah. So yeah, we've only got 2 parts. We've got 5 in the Forest of Hope. We could actually technically go back to the impact site because we've got enough to get the rest of the impact site done. But we'll carry on in here. We've got just over an hour before Smashterpieces start their streams. So we will head over there at 11:30. Probably because you see 1 or 2 sprites in boss arenas that you would have no reason to go to again. They still count towards Pikmin in the field. That's true, actually, yeah. That's something that you do forget about. You forget about... Actually, no, what am I doing? I want to have all blues. Because we're going to go and tackle those frogs. Today is a blues kind of day. 93. Come on, gang. I love their little sound effects. I love their little voices. How can you not love these guys? This is why it's so harrowing when you hear the little whimper when they die. It's just genuinely gets me choked up. Anyway, so we'll start with the nectar, obviously. Get you working on that, and then there's a bunch of what is this? Is this like a salt deposit or whatever it is? They do cracking work on it. And then the same over here as well. So we've got 3 nectar deposits to choose from. And they're all deciding to go after the flower instead. That's and they're just ignoring it. Oh my god. Guys, come on. Guys, work with me. There you go. Okay, so I'm trying to do 1 at a time just to try and get the maximum amount. Okay, they've all fallen off the ledge, haven't they? So might as well do the same. Will they come up after me? No, they won't. I think they do in Pikmin 3, but they don't here. Okay. This is what I mean about the Forest Naval. It's quite confusing to figure out which areas you can go up and which areas you can't. Deviant Far, hello, how are you? You ever going to try out Advance Wars? I've tried Advance Wars when I was a lot younger, when it was when it was a brand new game. I'm not the biggest fan of the sort of turn-based strategy. It's why I've never really played that much Fire Emblem. I think it's a very good game. It's just not my cup of tea. But yeah. But hello, David Fart. How you doing? Yes. If you use the podcast command, you'll get an explanation for why I am playing Pikmin once again. I am a guest on one of my favourite podcasts, which is one by my friends Matt and Joe, called Smashterpieces, where they are playing one game. They're playing and beating one game for every single character in Super Smash Bros. And this is their game to represent Olimar, as you can imagine. And I am a guest on the episode for Pikmin, so we are playing through Pikmin for that. So I'm just trying to get as many flower boys as I can. And you finish with that unassigned task, the range in which they'll see you and join your squad again is super large, yeah. And sometimes they just don't want to see you again, you know. Very much like an ex-girlfriend. Not that I condone dating Pikmin in any way, shape or form, though. That would just be weird, you know. It's almost interspecies, isn't it, you know? I'm not the kind of person that will be seen shagging plants. That's a quote. Pikmin AI. Although, the way that the font is in the chat makes it look like it's saying Pikmin Owl, which makes me feel like some... That's like the Weird Al of the Pikmin universe. It's sort of a comedy musician. Hey everyone, it's time for Pikmin Owl! In fact, that's actually what, that's Captain Olimar's alter ego, is Pikmin Owl. Okay, so we've got an army of blue flowers. And 2 straggler leaves. Bloody hell. You can call me Al. Yes. So look at this, look at this! Oh crap, oh crap. So what the best thing to do for these is that sometimes you can just overwhelm them to the point where they can't jump up. You have to get right around them, and don't trip, you idiot. And then just get around them to the point where they can't jump up, and they're going to jump up and they're going to crunch! How many was that? Oh my god, that was 40! 40 in one go! Continue from last save. That was 40 Pikmin in one hit. And it's really hard to tell where they're going to land. Sometimes you can get them out of the way and it's fine. I'm restarting that. I am not losing 40 Pikmin in one hit. Day 7. This is day... Yeah, it is day 7. Yeah, right. Okay, so you can actually just retry. Right. We need to tell Joe that before he starts. You can actually just retry from the pause screen. You can't just reset. You don't need to reset your console. I'm giving him bad advice. Okay. So yeah, sometimes you just have to take the L, and sometimes you just have to start again. But yeah, those frogs, man, those frogs. Joe is going to absolutely have the worst time with those. I was having a first time player to get reset instead of using the menu. Yeah, it's so many leaves, so many leaves. Okay, let's do this again then. I've got a leaf, haven't I? In Pikmin 2 you have to hit them. Oh, don't get me started on the caves in Pikmin 2. If you'd seen my my playthrough on stream of Pikmin 2 last year, those caves are so much more brutal than I remember. And the fact that the final boss of Pikmin 1 shows up as a mini-boss in Pikmin 2's caves kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? And sometimes you have to face sort of several of them at once. I think Pikmin 2 is a game that you can beat the game relatively okay, but if you want the true ending, which involves you saving a character that no one wants to save, if we're honest, then you just... Yeah. I used to say that Pikmin 2, I think, before I replayed them all last year, I used to say that Pikmin 1 was the worst in the series. Not to say it's a bad game, because it's not. It's a brilliant game. It's just that Pikmin 2 improved upon that. And then I used to say that Pikmin 3 was the one that I liked the least. And the main reason for that was that they removed the purple and white Pikmin from Pikmin 2. So I used to say that Pikmin 2 was the best, then Pikmin 1, then Pikmin 3. And now that I've replayed them, I actually think that Pikmin 2 is my least favourite. Even though it is technically a brilliant game. It's just so difficult. You did a deathless run of Pikmin 2. Oh my god, you have my respect for life, mate. That's incredible. Is it bad that 2 was your first? No, not at all, no. I think a lot of people went with Pikmin 2 because they didn't want the time limit of Pikmin 1. I think that's very fair. And a lot of people, Pikmin 3 will have been their first because it came out on Switch. And I don't think any of the Pikmin games is a bad game to start with. Because you're going to enjoy them all anyway. Obviously I would say start with Pikmin 1 and work forward, but of course I'm going to say that because I know that Pikmin 2 and 3 improve upon the rest. But I don't think there's any bad one to start with, unless you start with Hey Pikmin, but that's a whole different thing. Look at all that nectar. Come on, guys, you've got to be fully flowered after this. And you can tell that Pikmin are morons because they're currently banging their heads against a stone wall, thinking they can knock it down. Right, okay, let's do it again then, shall we? I didn't keep feeling the same because of the water wraith, but because adult Bulbmen eat Pikmin way too fast. Yeah, some of those Bulbmen in that cave are an absolute nightmare. Sometimes I think the best thing to do... Oh, actually, you know, while we're here, let's just build this bridge. This shouldn't take too long with near enough 100 flower Pikmin. They all working on it? Okay, well, they're all working on it. And I'm wondering if while they're doing that, I can lure the frogs away from the ship part. Because if I can do that, we might not even have to kill them at all. Also, if you want more proof that this is actually Earth, random glass bottle there. But yeah, they work fast. Diddly diddly diddly. And actually, I found my gravity jumper! That's a weird looking sweater. By manipulating the forces of gravity, this key component gives me the final boost I need to make the jump to super light speed. Good thing I found it. Wow, they can speak some spacey nonsense on in Nintendo, can't they? No, you're not... Okay. I'm not about to just send them into a creature, am I? No, okay. The stupid bomb rocks. Oh, the bomb rocks! I forgot about the bomb rocks. We were talking about them earlier, about how they removed the ability for yellows to carry bomb rocks in Pikmin 2 because they were so annoying. Then someone said, "Yeah, but they're still in Pikmin 2. Don't forget, they're still in Pikmin 2." They kind of sound like those Robo things. Oh, Chibi Robo, yeah. Oh, that was a good time. I'm not sure I would play Chibi Robo again, but those streams were so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna ignore them. Okay, I'm gonna ignore you. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just, rather than trying to fight the frogs, I'm just going to try and lure. Oh, crap. Try to lure the frogs away from the item, and I've just lured them right next to it. It's the anti-dioxin filter! This fits over the rocket's exhaust ports and filters out all disease-causing agents from the ship's exhaust. That means I'll be able to move around without polluting the planet's atmosphere. I'll feel worlds better. Oh great, so you can no longer pollute the planet's atmosphere until you nuke it and destroy it with your massive nuke gun. Okay. Why did you have to... No. Okay, good. Actually, you know what? That's good. The ship part is getting away because we're distracting them with a decoy. Yes! We made it. Okay, we don't have to kill the frogs now. I've got 30 feet. Does this thing look like it takes 30? Or do I have to get 40? Please be 30. Please be 30. Yeah! So now we've got 2 ship parts in one go. That's really good. Dioxin like dioxide. Yeah, probably. I don't know what quote you were going there for there, Dr. Dead, but quote 76 is never not appropriate. Well, I was making about 50 and then half the... Whistle the Pikmin after they fall off. Yeah, so, What are you doing? The ramp is right there, you utter numpties! Anyway, sorry. Spaff the happiness. Oh, right. I think that's quote 74. I think that's 74. Can't quite remember. The giant checkpoints of the Forest Naval, yes. There we go, see, catnip's on top of things. So yeah, we didn't get any ship parts at all yesterday, and now we're getting 2 in the space of a few minutes. And this one's going to change. Watch the appearance of the ship here. So yeah, some of them actually do add to the anti-dioxin filter. The laws of deep space require all ships to eliminate all pollutants. I've now recovered 9 out of 30 parts. If I can find just 3 more. So my goal for today was to get to 10 parts, and we are going to reach that in about a couple of minutes when that thing arrives. In the meantime, let's just get some more blues. We've still got half the day left. There's another ship part in the water over there we can get. Honestly, controlling the swarm of Pikmin is something I could never do without. I don't think I could ever go back to the Wii version. I love just being able to do this with the Pikmin. Unless there is a way in which you can move them around. They probably tried to do something to account for it. The part was clearly upside down when the Pikmin were carrying it back. Yeah, well, it's probably easier to carry that way. Does this one change it? No, it doesn't. Gravity Jumper. This anti-gravity device allows the dolphin to swim gracefully through the sea of stars like ... a porpoise. And there we go, 10 out of 30. We only need 2 more and then we can get to the biggest area of the game. And my least favourite, I would say. You hold down on the D-pad and use the pointer to make the C stick. Oh, okay. I've played the Wii version once when it came out back in 2008, 9, whenever it was. So, but we now officially have 100 blues. So while they're doing that, actually no, we'll wait for them to bring the last one, then we'll take a full army. I am thinking that I need to take some reds with me, because I think the part that's in the water is you have to take it through a set of fire hazards to get to. So I'm going to take 50 blues and 50 reds. Let's see how we do. Have to wait for the blues to get back in the Runyon. Hurry up, lads. Sprays and 2 are mapped to the 1 and 2 buttons of the D-pad. Oh, I did that so many times. Yeah, accidentally using a spray because the D-pad on the GameCube controller is so infinitesimally small. Right, okay, we've got enough here. So where is the ship part? Let's have... Oh, that 5 pellet is back again. It's over there. Okay, so there's one there and then one at the back. Okay, actually. Right. Change of plans. I'm taking 100 blues down there because I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of enemy that we need to handle. So, in you go, reds. I always forgot about the sprays in Pikmin 2. I think the reason that Pikmin 2 is so hard is because you're meant to use the sprays a lot more than you do. Also, the thing that I learned far too late in Pikmin 2 is that the purple Pikmin are just OP completely. The purple Pikmin can kill so many things so quickly, and I always forgot about them. Because there's also that one, I'm leaving those reds in the... Oh my god! You try and put the reds back in the onion and you get stuck behind the ledge. You guys are morons. Screw it. Right, so there's another ship part down here. I've got a third of a day left, that should be more than enough time. Come on, you stupid tripper. Too OP. Yeah, I mean... I found my #1 Ionium jet! Unfortunately, this puts out a slightly odoriferous... That's a great word. Odoriferous exhaust. But it does propel me to escape velocity in an instant. The stench is a small price to pay for such performance. That last line there is the top line of my Tinder profile. The stench is a small price to pay for such performance. Also, hello Bomb Rocks. They heavily nerfed purples in the Pikmin 3 extra modes. I missed. I still haven't played the. What are you doing? No! Come on, stick boys. Not ready for you yet. So they're taking care of that. There's another ship part down the bottom, but it does have fire hazards. But we only have a quarter of a day, so that's approximately 4 minutes. Ionium jet safe on its way. 65 blues, is that enough time? Let's have a look at the map, where we need to go. Oh, it's all the way down in the corner there. Yeah, we don't have enough time to get that. Because I think you have to break down that gate and then get down all the way through there, and that's got fire hazards and things. So I don't think we have enough time. So what we'll do instead is we will just farm a few more blues. So, you can do that. There's another red one down there. Do 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 do. Ba-da-da-da. Bum 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 bum. Break a back. Be really careful traversing the flames later. Yeah, okay. So nowhere near enough time to do that. But we're also only one ship part away from being able to access the distant spring, which I think if we're able to do that in a single stream, then we're doing very well. I'm nervous about starting anything. It's like see when you're trying to do something at work and you start something new when it's like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a dangerous thing because you could be stuck there, you know, running out of time. You've not finished it. Another part of the path that requires building a bridge and bringing yellows. Yeah, I do remember that. Another one of those. Nectar fairies. Of course, all my... there's a couple of nectar fairies here, actually. I've no sense of direction of where that thing was. Those guys are still buds. Okay. When this is done, I might use the last couple of hours of the day just to flower up a whole bunch of reds and yellows. Because we've got pretty much... Oh, there we go! They're all flowers now, apart from that one bud. Come on. Okay, we'll put all the blues away then. Audio still okay? Video still okay? Light still okay? I'm still trying to figure out the whole thing with my new light. Make sure it's all right. I think we need to flower up our reds, so we'll get all the reds out because they're going to get deflowered anyway. Everything looks and sounds fine. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Yeah, there's not that many buds there. So what I want to try and do, if I can, I don't know that there's a way to do this on Pikmin 1, is throw all the flowers out of the way. Get them all lined up. Throw all the flowers out of the group. Oh, there's one. I missed one. So I'll put them back in and then grab a bunch of yellows. PAL version clearly seems unlocked. I've given a headline seems to Pikmin to leave the onions. The PAL version is slower because it runs at 50 hertz. So it runs at just because of the way that European and Australian CRTs were. They ran at 50 hertz rather than 60 hertz. So everything is slightly slowed down compared to the American and Japanese versions. And normally that's not a major problem. Normally the vast majority of games will speed it up slightly to account for it. But Pikmin 1 is one of the few exceptions where they forgot to do that. And so the game lasts slightly longer, and like the music is slightly slower, the days last slightly longer than they should do. Yeah, the only other game that I found that does that is Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's something that they fixed for the re-releases, and it's something that not that many games forget to do. But it is something that is something to just a little quirk about Pikmin 1. So yeah. I think we're good to go, actually. I don't think there's anything else much worth doing, so we'll just go to sunset. That was a much more successful day. But the funny thing about the PAL GameCube, and this is something that the PAL Dreamcast does as well, you know how on the PS4 Pro and the PS5, they give you the option of having a high frame rates or super high def graphics. You can either have a higher resolution or you can have a higher frame rate, but you can't have both. Or you can have 60 FPS or 4K, but you very rarely can have both. The PS4 Pro was not the first console to offer that, because the PAL GameCube and the PAL Dreamcast, when you started up certain games, they would give you the option of saying, do you want to run this game in 60 Hz mode? And if you had a compatible television, which if you had like a digital CRT, for want of a bit, like a standard definition television that wasn't a CRT, that could handle 60 Hz, you could run the game in 60 Hz as was originally intended, which would be like 30 FPS or 60 FPS rather than 25 or 50. But when you did that, you sacrificed a little bit of resolution, because a PAL version of a game on the GameCube running at 50 Hz will run at 576i. So like if you think about resolutions on games, you get like 1080p, 2160p, you get 480p. This was 576i, and PAL GameCube games running at 56 would run at 576 resolution. But if you converted it to 60 Hz mode, it would have a higher frame rate, but it would be at 480 rather than 576. So you would either have a fast frame rate or you would have slightly worse resolution, but you couldn't have both. And so the PS4 Pro was not the first console to offer that. It was the PAL Dreamcast and the PAL GameCube that did that first. Some games had something similar in the States, but it was like, would you like to play in progressive mode? Okay, I didn't know that. 60 Hz mode I know is only a PAL thing, but I'm curious about what progressive mode is. I'd have to look that up. Anyway, 7 days since impact. The Pikmin always carry their prey back to the onions. Close observation indicates that taking food pellets to onions of the same colour results in the release of larger numbers of Pikmin seeds. I've also found ways to group Pikmin by colour. I can hold A to grab one for a moment, or I can press X to dismiss them all. So we lost 16 in battle. No, we haven't lost any in battle today. So look at that. We restarted day 7 because we lost 40 Pikmin in one go, and now we haven't lost any. So yeah. So we've got 19 parts remaining, 23 days. So we're 4 days ahead of schedule, assuming that the game expects you to do one game a day. Olimar said prey when describing when they bring dead enemies. Yeah, they are predators. They are absolutely vicious. I love them so much. They are my darlings. They are absolutely adorable. I really want some Pikmin plushes. I need to turn my light down a bit. I'm still quite bright. I've got a massive shining forehead at the moment. That's better. You can't quite see Majora's Mask behind me. On the, not if I lean in front of it. There you go. There's Majora's Mask. You can't quite see in the picture, but it's being held up by Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie holding up the... Lauren was right, Pikmin are sketchy. I mean, I don't know if they're artistic or not. Do I want to go back to the Forest Naval, or do I want to go back to... Actually, no, we'll go back to the Forest Naval. I'm worried that some of the creatures will have respawned. If they have respawned, I'm wondering whether to just go back to the impact site. Progressive scan modes are more in the GameCube that allowed for 16:9 on HD TVs, if you also ordered a composite cable. Right, okay. Composite or component? Right, so that was that's different from 60 Hz mode, because 60 Hz mode was just still standard definition, but with the actually, what am I doing? 33. We'll do 30, 30, and 40. Actually, no. I think 20 yellows, 50 reds. Component, yeah. 49. What do you mean 49? I can only take out 99. Am I missing something? What have I got? I've got 49, 20, and 30. Why can I not take out... There we go. Right, I've got 100. Okay. So let's go get another ship part. How are we doing for time? We've got half an hour left. Okay. Oh, we've got a couple of buds. All right, hang on. Let's take care of them first. That was a lot of nectar. Cool. How many buds do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only the 6 buds? Just the 6 buds. Okay, cool. Okay, so that should be them. That should be them all flowered up. Yeah, okay, so the beach is still deserted. That's good. I think this is the final day in which the beach will be deserted before the enemies start to respawn. So we'll head down here. I know a ROM hack of Pikmin 2 that takes advantage of the widescreen while also pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the GameCube with extended memory. Interesting. Okay, so this... Do I just smother it? I think I just smother it. It's facing the wall, so... Whoa! Dead. Okay, cool. Managed to survive that, thankfully. So that's 100. Hopefully that shouldn't take too long. Olimar can actually knock down these flowers himself. So, Olimar can be useful too. Hey, Puppet Lucas, how are you? It's called Pikmin 2 Colossal Caverns. So they made the caves even bigger. Why would you do that to yourself? Every treasure enemy all in one massive sub-level with onions and custom cat. That's quite cool. Is there such a thing as a Pikmin randomizer? Because I feel like that would be really cool. Although I'm not entirely sure how you could really vary it. I'm a sucker for a good randomizer, but some games are more suited to it than others. Let's have a think what else is in here. So we've got this ship part. Oh, we can get 2 ship parts, so we can get these 2 parts here at the same time. That's really good. And then the 2 more, I believe, are bosses. I think I'm going to leave the bosses until the end. So we're going to get all the practical stuff first, and then the actual battle ones we'll leave until we've got the biggest army we have. Pikmin 2 was already random. Yeah, that's true, actually. Pikmin 2's caves were... Yeah, they were completely randomized. Oh, but... Oh, I just realised that they're all buds again, aren't they? Because they all got thrown. Oh my god, I forgot about that. This is taking longer than it should. Oh well. There we go. So yeah, here we go. Can the reds actually destroy those? That's the question. No, that's a blue. Maybe red. No, those are not the ones that can be destroyed. It's not Pikmin 2. It is not Pikmin 2, no. So many things that I'm learning. But this is where the C-stick comes in handy. Look at that. Straight up against the wall. Then we can start with this lot. What's over here? Is this literally just... Ow! Okay, I was not expecting to get damaged by that. Okay. Oh, there's bomb rocks there as well, so we'll take our yellows round there after this. So yeah, this is a bit of a puzzly bit. Like like I said on the podcast, the game does have technically puzzles in it, but they are incredibly simple. Most of them, it is just like a case of, you know, this item's behind fire. Let's use the fireproof Pikmin. But you do get ones like this where you think, okay, so I need to build the bridge, and then it's behind the fire, so I need reds for the fire, and then it's up a cliff, so I need yellows for that bit. So it's going to be very interesting watching Joe and Matt, because Matt hasn't played this since they were very young, to see this again and try and figure all this out. This part here is why the speedrun only makes 15 yellows. Alright. So yeah, you need to use the blues here. This is the part that I forgot about, yeah. This is one of the most puzzle intensive bits in the game. You have to use the blues to break open this geyser here. And then use the yellows to chuck up here. And that is 15 that you need. So then they fall down and they just drop it completely. I've found my Libra! My daughter gave me this to me. It's named after her astrological sign. My sweet little girl. I wonder what she's doing right at this moment. So yeah, they drop it and then it just tumbles down. Honestly, watching the Pikmin just fall down and just go, oh crap! It's just, honestly, they're just so clumsy. I love them. Whee! Yeah, that's absolutely right. So, I think at this point we're safe to just let the reds take it the rest of the way home, because all the enemies are dead. So I think they're good to do that. So we'll let them do that. Let's just double check. Yeah, they're good to go up the ramp. Okay. And then... This is just in case we're going to have to wait for the timing on this one. I don't think we can get our Pikmin past it without setting them on fire. Just hold them up against the wall. Yeah, no, this one, I think we're safe on this one. Yeah, we're safe on this one. Okay, cool. I love the little trumpet noise they make when they move. The Libra is an example of a part that is a puzzle requiring all three types of Pikmin. Yeah. It's also non-essential, though, which is good. It's one of the harder pieces to get. But it's also not required to beat the game. Okay, so we've got our 30 blues. I've found my analog computer! This computer conveys the kind of vague data that falls outside the range of ones and zeros. Actually, to be honest, it's a little bit too vague, so it isn't very helpful. The Libra is required to leave the... Is it really? But it's like his daughter's trinket. It's functionally meaningless. Oh, see, this is what I mean. The reds are desperate to help, so they help to carry it. And then they sort of toss themselves into the water. Come on, you stupid things. Right. So again, get away with using the reds here, I believe. Cool, so that's another one done. The optional parts of the Space Float, Nova Blaster, UV lamp. So hang on, the Nova Blaster is optional. So the... Oh. Nice. Oh, hang on. There we go. Some nectar. Oh no. No. Out you come. Come on. Come on. Please don't drown. Please don't drown. Oh, I thought we'd, damn it. Oh, pour one out for the... that was an unnecessary death. Can you imagine if you were doing a deathless run and that was how you lost your Pikmin? Oh my god. I don't think there's any reason to go up there, unless you're getting the bomb rocks, but there's no point in doing that. So I guess we just make our way back. The ship parts are already on the way. Pikmin are drowning, try throwing blues in next time. Blues act like lifeguards. Do they really? Blues? Oh my god, that makes so much sense, and I've never seen that. Oh, okay, well at least it was a red one that tripped. That's incredible, I had no idea. It's so good. See, this is why I love streaming games, because you learn things, because chat, people help you out. They either give you guidance or they give you just background trivia, and I'm a sucker for trivia. I love a quiz. My daughter gave this to me. My late return must have been very worried. She's probably wondering what I've done with the nuke that she gave me for Christmas. They throw drowning Pikmin to safely, and they've got quite a throwing arm too. That's incredible. I almost want to try that, but that would mean throwing my Pikmin into the water just to see if they drown or not. I also love crosswords! Yeah, that's true. I do love a good crossword! Okay, let's have a look at our numbers. We've got... We don't have 100 reds. Oh, no, we do have 100 reds. We've got 68, 35, and 15. We've got about 100-ish of every one. Tempted to give this one to the blues. Annoyingly just too far away to grab that, aren't you? There you go. Right, okay. Cool. What else can we do? I think those are the only two ship parts I had planned to get today. I don't really think there's anything else. Okay, breaking down the walls for the boss arenas. That's what we can do. Everything else is pretty much done and dusted, I think. I was rewatching you were rewatching my streams. Oh, that's awesome. That's a lot of streams. Come on, blues, separate yourself. There you go. Segregation. It's the way forward. That pellet respawns every single day. That's really good. Hey, MK, how are you? Good to see you, mate. I know you've been lurking because you got the sub earlier, but good to see you in chat too. Hope you're well, mate. Dismiss the blues in the body, wash and throw a couple Pikmin in. Oh, it's too risky. You just got home from work. Ah, cool. It's good to be back. I missed this. It was good to have a break, but I do love just playing things for you guys, honestly. How's the speed run? I haven't started the speed run yet. This is just the casual playthrough for Smashterpieces. I'll get this done while Matt and Joe are playing through it themselves, and then the 9-day challenge will happen later in the month, probably the last weekend in August. That's the tentative schedule. I'm hoping that I can finish this in 2 streams, maybe 3. depending on how things go. But we've only got about 15 minutes left, so we've probably got time for one more day, and then we're going to head over to watch Matt begin his playthrough of Pikmin. And then Joe, I believe, is playing his first time on Saturday night. So yeah, should be good fun. I'm glad that I'm doing a normal playthrough because it's giving me a chance to just relearn where everything is and what I need to do. I think going gung-ho into the 9-day challenge from the start would have been a bit much. Because the thing about the 9-day challenge is it's a lot of trial and error and restarting until you get each run absolutely perfect. So I'll spend the rest of the day getting a bit of nectar, I think. Glad you're back. Ah, thanks, mate. Good to be back. What am I doing? No, I was gonna break down those walls, wasn't I? Damn it. Okay, I'll just no nectar, really, guys? Come on, do better. Yeah, that's 100, right? Do I... Where are the bomb rocks? Bomb rocks are down there somewhere, I think. I'll get rid of the reds. I don't think I need the reds. I'll take the blues and I'll take the yellows. Where are the bomb rocks? The bomb rocks are down here, aren't they? Okay, how many have we got? We've got... Okay, well, first things first, get this done. This is where the bomb rocks get a little tense. Any more sort of hidden in there? Sometimes you get another one. 5 is an odd number for there to be... Yeah, there's another one in there. Okay, good. Oh good, they can carry the bomb rocks up the stick. Okay, fine, you're a blue, you can come with me. Where's the bomb rock? The problem is, if I call it, it's going to drop it. Okay, it's not. Good. Start climbing. There we go. Right. There are easier bomb rocks to get near when you find the ground close to the wall and the belongings. That's a good point, actually. I'd forgotten about that. There's a can or something around there, isn't there? Ah, well. And actually, we're not going to get there in time because we're into our final hour. The time it'll take me to chuck these bomb rocks up here. Oh my god, and then they go and do that. Okay. Well, yeah, now I can see why no one ever goes to those bomb rocks. And that's another reason why. Yeah, bomb rocks are an absolute nightmare in this game. Like I say, I haven't played this game for a good year and a half at least, so I have to relearn all this stuff before I do the 9-day challenge. Oh well. It was worth a shot. Let's give these little buddies some. Oh come on! That one yellow, the selfish bastard, took all the nectar for himself. We got 2 ship parts today, so we're doing well. There's no point doing that stick because it just destroys itself the following day. I think we've got 1 bud left in this group. The Wii version doesn't have this problem. No, the Wii version fixes a lot of stuff, which is why I'm curious and nervous to find out what version Matt plays shortly. Okay, we'll have 1 more day, and then we'll call it for the night. Assuming that Matt starts on time, of course. We'll have to wait for the go live notification. Diddly 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 diddly. I love that music. Have I said that enough? 8 days since impact. I have managed to increase the range of the dolphin. Looking from the dolphin's portal as it launches ever higher into the sky, I see a vast wetland in the deepest parts of the forest. I shall call it the Distant Spring. I can begin my exploration of it tomorrow. For now, I must sleep. So, we lost 1 in battle. We didn't lose it in battle, I accidentally drowned it. So we've got 118 reds, 140 yellows, and 125 blues. That's not nearly enough for my liking. 17 parts remaining and 22 days left to do it. We're on day 8. Last time I did this casually, I finished on day 22, which is about what I normally finish. Now here's the question, do we go back to the Forest Naval and try and beat the 2 bosses in the 1 day? Do we go to the impact site and clear that one out? Spend the day farming a bit? Or do we go back to the Forest of Hope and try a couple there? The Forest of Hope is still probably a 2-day trip, I think, at this point. The Distant Spring has a lot of stuff, and I feel like we should go there and we should stay there. I think we clear out the first 3. It's Distant Spring, because it's, yeah. Impact site will be a bit more time consuming, you think, especially since the Gulix is there today. The Gulix is there today? Oh yeah, it only shows up on certain days, doesn't it? I forgot about that. I can never remember those. I can never remember what days what. Let's go to the Forest Naval then. Let's see if we can 100% the Forest Naval tonight, that would be really good. Odd day starting on day 9 and even day starting on 8 for Mamuta. Remind me which one's which again? So yellows. Oh, but I've just remembered that the all the blowhogs are going to be back on the beach, aren't they? Gulix is the blob of water. Now we have all the areas unlocked until we have 29 ship parts. Is it 29? The final trial. Is that 29? Okay. Maybe this is the weird thing that plants Pikmin by slapping them into the ground. Oh yeah, I remember that. And are they both on the impact site? Guys, what are you doing? Come on. Get some boom rocks. Actually, it looks like the beach is still pretty dead. Yeah, the beach is still dead. Wow, okay, so they last longer than I thought. In which case we can get all this done today, then that's best outcome. I don't know how many bombs are in there, but it's quite a lot from what I remember. Okay, so that was... Is that 9 or 10, something like that? So let's have a look. Right, so it's up. This one. I hope you can take on the Smoky Prog in this one. Smoky Prog, a very difficult optional boss in the Distant Spring. Find its egg and hatch and start the fight, being able to give you a pearl worth 100 Pikmin. Interesting, okay. Damn it, I forgot about those things. Okay. No. Yeah, okay. Have to come back, take care of them, take care of that first door, and then we can use the bombers. Leave the bombers here for the minute. So according to the game, if I dismissed those bombers with X, because I've done that, I should be able to call them with the whistle and they will not drop their bombs. That is what the game said. I do not believe that to be the case anymore. I'm too scared to find out. Also emits a trail of poison that instantly kills any Pikmin that dismiss more walks, but I'm trusting you on that. I'll take out reds, yeah. Whenever the thing says there are 100 Pikmin in the field, all I can think of is oddly, all I can think of is Mathis from Casino Royale. When he's commenting on the poker game at Casino Royale, and he says something like, "There's 150 million in the pot," and I'm just sitting there going, "There's 100 Pikmin in the field." Get these out of the way. I need flowery reds anyway, so. There's some grass over here too, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, you lot take with that. Nice. That's a decent amount out of that. Just straight out Cat Dog. I haven't watched Cat Dog in years, wow. Is Cat Dog one of the Cat Dog was a Nickelodeon thing, wasn't it? Isn't it going to be in the new Nicktoons fighter? I think I remember something about that. There are 50 million Pikmin on the field. That's a hell of a... Imagine if that was like a ROM hack. That's a hell of a memory extension for the GameCube to allow it to have 50 million Pikmin on the field. Come on, you stupid tripper. Okay, just smother them. Yeah, so that if you throw Pikmin at these guys and land kill them in one hit, you can kill them in one hit if you hit them. There we go. Right. So I'll take care of this. We didn't get Nickelodeon in my house until I was too old for it. I remember going around to other people's houses, and anytime they had Nickelodeon on, I would just stare at it constantly because I was just like, "Oh my god, this channel's amazing!" There are entire channels dedicated to cartoons. So yeah, so that's 11:30. So hopefully, Smash will be going live. Gonna go explode that rock gate. I am indeed. And then, shall we just tackle BD Longlegs, get out of the way? I think BD Longlegs is in that one, right? Because there's that mushroom thing as well, which I can't quite remember how to kill. I know you have to knock it over, but I can't quite remember how you do that. So that'll be interesting to find out. I am looking forward to seeing Joe's reaction to when BD Longlegs appears for the first time, because I imagine it might scare the crap out of him. Puff Stool is the mushroom thing, thank you. Very good last album, Puffstool. Very good hipster indie band. Okay. Puffstool is a really easy one cycle. So shall I just go and kill that and just get out of the way? Many blowhogs are around it. Oh, those bloody frogs. Bloody frogs. There's always the bloody frogs. Screw it, let's go for it. There we go. Come on, come on. Yeah! I've found the Omega Stabilizer! I absolutely must have this piece if my battered ship is ever to fly straight again. It has steered me through countless deep space storms. That, and it looks rather cool. How do you have a timeshare but not satellite at home? What do you mean a timeshare? I don't know what you mean by that. No, I was talking about when I was a kid. We didn't have satellite TV in my house. Okay, now this bloody frog. See if this bloody frog does anything. Gotta lure him away. There we go. Don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare! Okay, I can live with that. No, I can't. Okay, that was 20 I lost. I think that's okay. I think that's worth it for the ship part. We can replace them. We're talking about digital. It's only a pain in the ass in Deathless because when it's flipped over, it's very easy to put into fall into the void. Oh yeah, okay. I can imagine that sucks. Right. Go on, Reds. You can have all these. Wait, have I got one left? Where's my one? Oh, we stuck in this stupid... Hang on. Yeah, okay. Well, the frog just took care of the one that was stuck in the ledge, so I guess we don't have to worry about that anymore. Possible gives 30 Pikmin too. Okay. Well, that's good. The Reds can have that. In the meantime, watch... Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Will they drop the bomb rocks after I've dismissed them? No, they won't. Okay, good. So that's right. Okay. You can never be too sure. You can never be too sure with these bomb rocks. Honestly, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Are we ready? Right, cool. That's done. Oh, really? One of you ran away? Or is that like a 6-door? Okay, so that's a 6-bomb door, right? I just realised that. I was wondering why they weren't doing anything. Okay, so that's done. There's another 3-bomb door up here we can might as well do. That's sneaky, because you go into that thinking it's a 3-bomb door, don't you? Okay, well, you're useless to me. Okay. Might as well use the last one down here. Oh wait, that's a 6-bomb door as well. Damn it! They're all 6-bomb doors, and I've only got one left, and I'm gonna have to hold on to it because if I let go of it, it's gonna blow up anywhere. There we go. Oh no! Is the game gonna think that I've let go of the throw button because of this stupid cutscene? Grey wall, not light grey. Oh, okay. I didn't notice the difference. This is the dolphin's fin. It's a little beaten up, but it should still function. I've made great strides in repairing the dolphin. With this, I should be able to fly again, even if I don't recover all 30 parts. Okay, no, so he just lets go of it. That's good to know. Okay, let's head back up here then. Don't know if we'll beat BD Longlegs with the Pikmin we have, but I'll give it a go. Well, not with the yellows, I won't. Oh no, hang on, yellows are useful against BD, aren't they? going to put all the yellows away. What's more useful, reds or yellows against Speedy? Hint, hint, 5 parts aren't mandatory. Yeah. Reds do more damage even if they can only reach when it's tired. Yeah, okay, so we'll go with reds then. Small team of yellows, yeah, but if we're trying to kill it quickly, you don't have the time to bring the part back. That's a good point, actually, we don't. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to accept that BD is not happening today. Let's just spend the time leveling up flowers. How many leaves have we got? We'll chuck a little leaves. I think that's all the leaves. Got a few buds in there as well. There's one leaf as well. There's grass at the bottom bridge. Okay, cool. Bring it that way, we'll find it. I'm trying to maximize how many buds and leaves and things I'm going to have, but if I take out that many blues and they're all flowers, which they are, then we can just put them straight back in. Probably makes more sense to get done the ones that I've got first, and then I can put all of them back in. There's not grass around here too. I feel like there's grass around here that I haven't done yet. Okay. So I'll send the flowery yellows to take care of the grass. Grass at the top was already plucked, yeah. So that's annoying, because if I'd been more efficient, I would have been able to do both bosses in the one day. But oh well. I feel like in Pikmin 2 you can get a lot more flowers done. Like in Pikmin 2 I'm pretty sure you can just surround on a single bit of nectar and get like at least 50 flowers. Might as well do this. And the yellows. How are we doing for yellows? We're alright for yellows. We can always do with more reds. Oh! Honey Fairy! Nectar Fairy, whatever your bloody name is. Oh, that's really annoying. The nectar landed right on top of 2 leaves who took it all for themselves. There we go, that's already better. I feel like it's a constant struggle against keeping your Pikmin flowered. And we're not coming back here for a good while yet. So we'll get this last one plucked, and then Nintendo World Report aren't live yet. Maybe we'll do one more day. What happens if Pikmin are still planted again? Oh, Autistic Game Guy, thank you very much for the follow. If Pikmin are still planted again at the end of the night, they just stay in the ground until the next day. So it's not the end of the world, but if you're not going there the next day, which we're probably not going to do. then it's not ideal. Okay, what are we thinking? Impact site? Get impact site done. 9 days since impact. Honey wisp. Nectar fairy. This timid creature flies around collecting nectar from flowers. It typically hides itself, but shaken flowers can reveal its presence. The nectar it collects appears to be the Pikmin's favourite food. They instantly bloom when they eat it. Insta-puberty. Wow, look at that loss there. See that dip in the reds there? That was the frog. That wasn't the boss that we fought. That was the frog afterwards. Bloody frogs. Pikmin 3 actually rewards leaving Pikmin on the ground since we have flowers in the next day and they don't wilt like in 1 and 2. Yeah. So we've got 1 part left in the naval. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do the naval, get it over with, and be done. Oh no, actually. Okay, Matt has just gone live, so we're actually I'm gonna stop this. We're just gonna stop for the night, and we're gonna go and we're gonna raid Matt's stream. He's probably not. It's probably a bit of a countdown yet. Actually, let's pause that for a second while I have a look. We'll get it up and I can keep an eye on it. Oh, he's got a 13-minute countdown. So let's see if we can beat BD Longlegs before Matt goes live. Okay. It will be a raid. We need to start thinking of the raid message now. Wait, why are there 95? Oh, there's the war victims. Wow, the frog killed so many Pikmin that some are growing in its place. So, what's the... Let's get as many flowers as we can. Flower fairy! It's not even a nectar fairy anymore, it's a flower fairy. I've already forgotten what it's called, and we literally just had Olimar describing it to us. And that was an absolute waste of nectar, wasn't it? Wake up, you idiots! Okay. Let's get them cracking on that. And get them pluck in there. Get them a bit of fighting practice on those. It's completely pointless us doing that, because if we left them, they would grow into pellets, but the Pikmin are going to destroy them anyway, because they're nutters like that. Cool. The thing is, to go and pluck those Pikmin, we'd have to face up against the frog again, and I'm not doing that. Okay, need a bud. The buds will line up behind. I think that's it. There's one leaf at the back. Where were you? No. Where's the leaf? Where's the leaf? There's the leaf boy. Olimar. There you go. Right. Okay. So this lot just straight. Okay, we didn't get all of them, but that's good enough. Still didn't destroy that. It didn't destroy any of the walls. Do you mind? Honestly. It's like the Pikmin have ADHD. It's just like, oh, what's that? What's that? It's like herding cats. Honestly, it's brilliant. Can the raid message be nectar fairies? It absolutely can. Alright. But in all capitals, of course. Yeah, someone gave these Pikmin a lot of sugar just before they were... I mean, to be fair, I'm the one giving them a lot of sugar. Look at all the golden sugar that I'm giving them. And there's one guy, one leaf left. Are you mad? I'm not even... Oh my god, this leaf guy is taunting me again. Come on, we're supposed to be fighting the boss here. There we are. Okay, right. Drink your stupid nectar. And let's get on. Look. Damn it, Steve. Alright. Here we go. Are you ready for one of the only jump scares in Pikmin? Okay, try not to have them too spread out because they will die to this. Okay, well I've already lost 16 of them. Come on, get tired. Get tired. Ow! Okay, that was another 8. Ow. Does it get tired in Pikmin 1? I've already lost 33. Yeah, I'll be restarting this. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, so we had a lot of casualties, but once it got down, we basically one-cycled it, which was good. So yeah. The guard satellite! Deep space is filled with dangers. This automated satellite does its part to help guard both me and my spaceship. I'll sleep better at night once this little satellite is back on duty. Hope the body count was worth it. So do I. So do I. That's the good thing though, is that we can do it again if need be. Made it. All right. We've got our 5 flowers. Get out of here. To be fair, after this I'll probably go to the impact site, and there's a lot of farming you can do at the impact site. I will have to get better at it though. The main thing you need for the impact site is a lot of blues, because the item and the pearls and things that you get are all entirely water based. But yeah, we are now done with the Forest Naval. Nectar fairies. Oh, you greedy bastard! That guy one stupid bud took the entire thing. How many Pikmin we got now? We've still got around about 100 reds, so it's not a total disaster, but I will be focusing on getting more reds from now on. You go back to the site and you actually have to deal with the Gulix. I'm not your bud, friend. That's a good point. So go to the impact site on an even day. Okay, in that case we might go back to the Forest Naval. Not the Forest Naval, the Forest of Hope. Really confusing that 2 of them are named after forests. I've now recovered 15 out of 30 parts. That was my ideal goal for today. Would be 15 parts in one day. So I'm very happy with that. We probably won't. Would we get all 30 done in 2 streams? That's ambitious. We'll see how it goes. I'll leave them to work on that. Because if I know where they are on the radar, I can flower them back up after that. So we've got 55, another 20 in the ground. There's that 5 down by the okay. I'm gonna take out let's have a think about this. I don't know what the maximum is for 5, but we'll take that. I'm going to take the blues. 10 Pikmin max for a 5 pellet. Okay, well 9's close enough. It's only midday, got a bit of time. We get this 5 pellet again, but it's not going to go to the blues, it's going to go to the reds. Actually, 116 versus... Maybe I should just give it to the blues. Go into the distant spring. We need all the blues we can get. Yeah, I think when it's a pellet this size, probably best to just maximise the number of creatures you're going to get from it. Oh, you stupid thing, will you not just grab onto it? Oh. I'm working with morons here! Max is number required to carry it times 2. Alright, that makes more sense, yeah. Look at me headbutting a flower. Okay, for the love of God, will you help them out, please? There you go. Oh, hang on. Nectar Fairy. Cool. We have to do a world tour of this area just to get all the nectar. Okay, I'm going to leave those buds in the ground as long as I can. Oh, again, one leaf took the whole thing. Greedy bastards, all these guys, honestly. Never invite them to a dinner party. Just gorging on nectar in the corner. Enough time in the day for those buds to become flowers. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But I'm keeping 100 in the field so that we don't have to pluck any more. Any more nectar around about? Yeah, there's a bit in the bottom, but yeah, the nectar fairy gave us some. Here we go. But again, one guy steals all of it. It does seem to be completely arbitrary whether they actually get any or not. There's some down the bottom of the bridge, isn't there? Okay, well there's our last bud. Try something that sees all the Pikmin come together before you march in. I try that every single time. Like, I know to do that, it's just for some reason it doesn't seem to work very well on these. I've got to drink it to kill it so flowers can't do it. Okay, I love he's got his little floaty thing on the ship now. I love that. See that little floating thing up there? He's got his little buddy. Oh, forgot about these. So was that the nectar fairy that oh no, it was the one down the bottom I was going for, that's what it was. I love the acoustic guitar of this. So I read an interesting theory on I believe it was the Pikmin wiki, talking about the music for this game, and I don't know if it's true or not. That's never been really confirmed, but the idea being that the further you get into the game, the music gets less defined in terms of the beat. And that is supposed to symbolize the increased levels of freedom that you get as you get into each level. So like the impact site, you can only do a couple of things and the music is very bum 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 bum. Whereas by the time you get to the distant spring, you can't even find your feet with the beat. And so that's just supposed to indicate the fact that you can do whatever you want and go wherever you want. And I'm just getting rid of all the flower Pikmin. So Matt is live. So we will get this last bit of nectar and then we will end the stream and go and raid Matt and go and say hi. I know I threw a leaf in there, but I don't care at this point. That's much better. That's what I wanted. Look at that. Look at... Why did it work that time? Oh my god. Okay, where's... Yeah, so basically I had one guy drink that flower as well. Okay. Let's get back to the ship, including this one stupid leaf. Get up there. Alright. Up the shortcut. And they are now all flowers. Fantastic. So we will be good to go next time. So, I will probably be playing Pikmin again this time next week, probably Thursday night. We'll see how far we can get. We'll see if we can get all 30 parts in that time as well. I will be back tomorrow night with Sonic Unleashed, and on Sunday we will be playing our first ever playthrough of Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, I say first ever, I completed it as a child, but I haven't played it since. And I'm really curious to find out exactly what my experience of it is like since that as an adult. I wonder if the rose-tinted glasses are going to fall from my face, because I remember really liking that game as a kid. So that'll be happening on Sunday. So yeah, and then more Pikmin next week, and we'll see what else happens. I really want to play Banjo-Kazooie at some point. I was meant to play that last night, and then real life happened. 5 are down here. Stuck behind the wall. So I think we'll just call it there. Which version of Sonic Unleashed? I am playing the Xbox version, because I played the Wii version as a kid and decided that I wanted to see what the HD version was like, and I didn't realise that it was much worse. But we've started it now, so we're going to bloody well finish it. Right, so we're going to go to sunset, we're going to save the game, and we are going to go and raid Matt. So yeah. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It was so good to see everyone again, to chat to everyone again. I'm so happy with how many people turned up. I'm going to get up the Nintendo World Report feed, and we're just going to go and raid them. The raid message will be Nectar Fairies in all capitals. So I'm just going to save my game. And yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. Thank you very much for the raids, for the resubs, for the follows, and for the gift subs as well to David for those. 10 days since Impact. Hope has begun to well up within me for the Dolphins' repair and my own chances for a reunion with my dear family. Tomorrow I shall go forth with a new attitude and continue my exploration in a different region. I hope that fortune will smile upon me. So have a look at this. Oh, that's a big dip in the reds. Oh, that's a painful sight. Oh, I'm so sorry, my poor friends. Oh, that's bad. All right. Moment of silence for the fallen. Jesus. All right, but we completed the Forest Naval. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to go to my ending screen. And all right, we're gonna get started. We're gonna follow Matt. He's just yeah. All right. Have a good night, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. If you're here for more Pikmin, I'll see you next Thursday. Until then, have a good night, and let's go and say hello. Cheers.